heck is going on here? What? Oh, we're seeding. I was like, what the heck is wrong with my field? No, this is normal. We're not planting ketchup and mustard, even though it looks like it. If my alarm goes off, I have to work. It doesn't go off, no work. That's how I know what day it is. That's same, but it doesn't help me know what day it is. That is how I tell if I'm working or not, but that doesn't help me know what day it is. I've honestly never worked a job where the days of the week actually matter. We had like where days of the week would be busier, but that was about it. It's not like whether it was busy or not, whether it was one day of the week or another, I did the same thing. I worked the same amount, and my days that I worked were totally random. There's no consistency, dude. Oh my God, Homer!
Just subscribed at tier 3 for 17 months. What? New phone who dis? Another day, another no email.
No email from Valve. Homer, what did you do? What did you do to Steam? Why haven't they emailed you about a Steam machine yet? You and I should both be talking about the Steam machine. I got nobody to talk about it with because nobody else has one. You got to get your Steam machine, dude. You better send an apology email to Valve and figure out what happened. Because you upset somebody, dude. Homer, thank you so much for the tier 3 sub. I really appreciate that. Unfold the cedar. Oh, okay. Wait, hold on. And is our crop sensor turn on? Crop sensor Alt B. Give me 1 second. Okay. Sorry. Homer, thank you for the tier 3 sub for 17 months, dude. I really appreciate that. Thank you for supporting the stream. And thank you for being here for 17 months as well. I'm so sorry that Valve has not contacted you about your God-given right to a Steam machine yet. It'll happen soon, I believe. What was the thing you were talking about last time? I can't tell you just yet. I was hoping to tell you guys today what was going on this week, but I will get back to you on that. I just need to confirm that it is actually happening. It is honestly so insane that I need outside confirmation that it's real before I actually tell you guys what's going on. But hopefully I'll be able to tell you over the next couple of days. I'll let you know. What's the difference between the farm stick for Xbox PC and the one for PS5 PC and the one just for PC? Why is PC cheaper? Okay, so the PC one is the older model. It only works on PC. And then the other ones are console. If you're just on PC, get the PC ones. The console ones come with a little throttle on it, but I don't use it. I don't know anybody that does. Apparently, you can use it for cruise control in some games, or you could use it as a throttle for flight. If if you're playing any flying games, I guess that might be kind of convenient. But if you're just farming and constructing, just get the PC one. It's cheaper because it only works for PC. It's the old model, but they're very similar. I would really like a Steam machine, but the price, I don't know. The price is what makes it like not a 100% buy for everybody. The Steam machine is awesome, but it is still circumstantial. Like if you have a PC, the only reason to get a Steam machine is to get a console in your living room or something like that where you can play on the TV. That's the only reason, if you've already got a PC, to buy one, because it doesn't add anything new that your PC isn't already doing. It's just if you were considering getting an Xbox for your living room and you've already got a PC in your gaming room or whatever, or your bedroom, however you're doing it, a Steam machine would make a better thing for your living room, especially since you probably already have a Steam library. Like the one thing when I bought an Xbox, the one issue that I had is I needed to rebuy some games, which was insanely inconvenient. So buying a Steam machine, I was just able to connect my regular Steam library and get all the games that I had already been playing. And you can still use Microsoft Game Pass if you're that into Game Pass as well. So it's a pretty easy win. But I mean, as an upgrade to a console, it is expensive. That's for sure. Is ATS coming to console? Yes, it is actually. It doesn't have a release date yet, but it's coming to Xbox and PlayStation. Joe, thank you for the 195 stream. Sweet, dude. Appreciate that. If I want to stream on TikTok and I want to play on my PS5, how do I make it only on the screen and face cam, also read chat at the same time? I don't think you can directly from the PS5. You'd probably have to hook up a PC or a laptop of some sort to get that to work. I don't think you could do it just straight from the PS5 to do it how you want. I'd like to play some War Thunder with the farm stick, but I'm not so dedicated, so I think I'll survive without the throttle. Thanks for helping. No problem. Yeah, and I mean, if you're that into War Thunder where you get to the point where you want to play it with some real sim gear, I mean, War Thunder's not really a sim, but it would be fun with simulator gear. I can recommend you some easy, cheap sim gear that you could use in that case, that you could have dedicated for War Thunder, because frankly, the joystick on its own is probably not gonna be good enough to have a good time on War Thunder. You probably have more fun on a controller. Aaron, thank you for the 3-stream streak. I need to upgrade my PC. Would the Steam Machine be a better option? Oh, that's an interesting question. The Steam Machine is worth the specs that it is, if that makes sense. So it could be an option. I mean, if you've got a $2,000 budget to build a PC, you're probably better off buying a pre-build or building a PC at that price. But if your budget is already around the price of a Steam Machine, then yes, you may as well get a Steam Machine. Think of it as a well-priced pre-build is basically the way to think about it. But you can build a better PC than a Steam Machine as long as you have the budget for it, right? First, you need the Ferrari wheel. You do need the Ferrari. Well, now we have to be specific because there's a new Ferrari wheel that's apparently good, but the T80, not the T80. Are Steam Machines expensive? They are cheap for a PC. They are expensive for a console. So, I mean, expensive is a relative term, right? If you make $1 million a year, no, a Steam Machine is not expensive. But if you're comparing it to the price of an Xbox, yes, a Steam Machine is more expensive. The reason it's like that is because Xbox and Sony, they actually artificially lower the price of the PlayStation and the Xbox. And the way they can do that is they make a lot of money from you after you buy it. So they charge an additional price on games. They've got their subscription services. They've got subscribe to play online. You know, they got all those programs where they take money back from you after you've purchased your console. A Steam Machine isn't meant to do that. It's just meant to be what it's worth, and then whatever you do with it is yours. So think of it between a PC and a console, kind of. Yeah, I guess that'd be the best way to look at it. But you don't have to buy a controller, subscriptions, or a monitor. You don't have to buy controller, subscriptions, or a monitor. So, what? You don't have to buy a controller, subscriptions, or a monitor. I'm confused as to what that means, because I feel like no matter if you buy an Xbox or a PlayStation or a Steam Machine, for the Steam Machine, I feel like those costs are the same. I mean, if you already have a controller, you don't need a controller for the Steam Machine. You're right that it has no subscriptions. You don't need to buy a monitor. Are you... What? You're gonna have to walk me through this like I'm 5. I'm missing something in that statement, Goose. I'm missing something. I think it means people usually have a TV already. You already have a TV or controller. If you're upgrading, compared to what though? Because that would apply no matter what you buy. Like if you bought an Xbox, you'd already have a TV. I guess, well, it'd come with a controller. I feel like the situation's the same no matter what you upgrade to, because if you had those things, you'd be able to use them on all of the possible options. So I feel like that's the same no matter what you do, if that makes sense. I must be missing something. Hi, Faber. Thank you so much for the raid. Welcome in. Those coming in with Faber, how was your stream today? What the heck are you guys doing? We're actually just talking about the Steam Machine. Faber, have you looked at the Steam Machine at all? What are your thoughts? Hey, if you got a raid and run, I totally understand. Otherwise, thoughts on the Steam Machine? Happy Saturday, JSK. I want to do my stream. How do you do it, even if it's just a screen cam? I use a capture card on a separate PC with TTLS. You're confusing me. I think we've confused each other, Goose. I think we've confused each other. That's okay. That's okay. We'll get it. We'll get it back. You have seen Steam Machines, and what do you think? What's your thoughts? I'd rather buy a Steam Deck and dock it on my monitor. Steam Deck, yeah. So it's So a Steam Deck, I mean, would probably be better if you plan on leaving the house with it. Like if you want it to be portable, obviously a Steam Deck. A Steam Machine is going to be more powerful. So if it literally just sits at home, then a Steam Machine makes more sense. But even if you plan like once a month to pick it up and take it with you, then a Steam Deck is probably a better option. Right. Dreamer's good. Got a lot of stuff done. What were you guys working on? Is the farm stick independent, or do I need a Thrustmaster wheel? Totally independent. You can plug it into any wheel. This was honestly probably one of the things that made the Thrustmaster stick as big as it is no matter what wheel you already have, you could use it with a farm stick. Can Steam Machine use a PS5 controller? I think so, because I'm pretty sure PCs can use any controller. You'd be best, it should be able to pair with it with Bluetooth, but you'd be best off plugging it in with a long USB-C cable. But yeah, I can't 100% confirm because I don't have a PlayStation controller to test it with, but it should work, and I do it with an Xbox controller. Sony's a little more psychotic about proprietary stuff, but it works with an Xbox controller, so it should, keyword should, work with a PlayStation controller as well. MB, Hector, and Piggy, thank you for the follows and the shares on TikTok, guys. Appreciate that. Sparx, do you let people play on your server? Because I would like to join. Not this server that I'm playing on now, but we do now have a community server, which you can find in the Discord. I just did an announcement about it, so if you'd like to join our server, it's in the Discord. It's the announcement before my go live announcement, so you'll see it. You'll see it in there. It's all ready to go. Did you hear about the news with Fallout? Oh my God! All I heard. Now, I don't know what news you're talking about because there was a lot of news with Bethesda in general. All I heard was that Fallout 3 and New Vegas remakes confirmed. That was the most exciting piece of that news for me. I know Fallout 76 is getting a new expansion. Fallout, the TV show, has a third season on the way. Am I missing something? I feel like those are the biggest ones when I read it. Should I buy a Steam Machine or should I get a gaming PC? If the Steam Machine is in your budget for a gaming PC, get it. If your budget is higher than a Steam Machine, build or buy a pre-built. Because that's, even if it's close, so like if you, let's say a Steam Machine is $1,000, I can't remember the exact price. Steam Machine is $1,000. If your price point is $1,100, buy a Steam Machine. If your price point is $1,500, see if you can build something better than a Steam Machine. You may or may not be able to, depending on your access to components and pricing and stuff like that and what's on sale. The Steam Machine does, like, it's a little bit cheaper than it should be for its performance just because it's kind of a mass-produced type of thing. So they were able to save on RAM and purchasing parts in bulk, but
Cravers just
see what you can build.
Tier 3 for 5 months.
Raven?
Hell yeah.
Speaking of Raven.
Let's go.
We're just talking about you. Raven, thank you for the tier 3 sub for 5 months. Dude, I really appreciate that. Thank you for supporting the stream with a tier 3 sub. And thank you for sending all the RFC guys over here. We really appreciate that as well. Guys, Raven is the one who hosts our community server. So if you have any questions about the server, Raven will be able to answer it. But I highly encourage you to go to our announcement channel and go join Raven's server because it is a great community. They run our community server. So that's where you get the Sparx community server. This map is on console. Yes, go command map in the chat, and it'll come up for you. What server? We have a Farm Sim server now. It's crossplay, so you can play it on PC or Xbox or PlayStation. I don't think it uses mods other than the map. So as long as you can get the map, which you can on all platforms, you're good to go. You can go give it a play. We'll have to go play it on stream at some point and go see what you guys are doing over there. I figured it'd be cool to let you guys farm for a little bit longer, and then we'll go tour and see what's going on. What does the Steam Machine do? The Steam Machine is like, it's kind of like the bridge between a console and a PC. So it is a PC, but it kind of works like a console, and it's a lot cheaper than your average PC as well. I don't know if that makes sense, but it's supposed to be like kind of a transition between a PC and a console. It's pretty sweet. I'm quite happy with it. RFC in the house, welcome in. Those coming in from RFC as well. Have you played any of the Fallout games? I have played all of the Fallout games except Fallout 76. I don't really like those kind of Rust style games. You know, the building surviving games, not in a PvP environment at least. And so 76 didn't interest me. I played every other Fallout game, and honestly, I don't think I was disappointed by any of them. I think they were all pretty much bangers, to be honest with you. Fallout 4 was actually the only one that I didn't finish. I don't know what it was. I don't know if I was playing it at the wrong time in my life or what, but I tried a couple of times to finish Fallout 4, and I never really got into it. But it's a well-made game. I like how it feels. I love all the new mechanics. I don't know. It's just the wrong type of game for me at the time, I guess. Is it better in the long run for a Steam machine or an actual PC? It's a hard question to answer because how do I explain this? Okay, a Steam machine versus a PC of the same price, it's better to have a Steam machine. But a Steam machine versus a $3,000 top-end PC, the top-end PC. A Steam machine is really about the price point more than it is about an alternative. Like, a Steam machine isn't an alternative to a PC. It's just meant to be at the price point that it's at and fill a gap, if that makes sense. You still need to play Fallout 3 and New Vegas. Dude, both are great. I like New Vegas the best myself, but you gotta go and play Fallout 3, especially with the DLCs. Make sure you play the DLCs on Fallout 3. They are 60% of that game. Same with New Vegas, actually. The DLCs in New Vegas are half the game, and you absolutely need to play them. Appreciate the explanation. I'll do my best. Yeah, if you have any questions, let me know. I'll do my best. Try to... And I mean, I will say there's a lot of console fanboys on the internet that are struggling with the Steam machine. Call them out on it. Ask them questions about it, because I still have not seen a good reason to go with a console if you can afford a Steam machine. If you can afford a console and not a Steam machine, get a console. If you have a massive game library on consoles, so let's say you've been on Xbox for years and you've got $2,000 worth of games on Xbox, you're gonna have to rebuy them if you go to the Steam machine. That being said, though, if you've just been using your Xbox for Xbox Game Pass, you can do that on your Steam machine and you'll get your progress. Well, okay, not all games do cross-platform progress, but you'll still have access to all of those games that you've been playing. You can build a better PC for the same price. That's not really true. It's technically possible, but only for people who really know what they're doing. The average person probably cannot build a better PC for the same price as a Steam machine. Some people could if they know how to navigate the sales, if they have some industry insight that the average person doesn't have, if they know how to scavenge secondhand parts and secondhand PCs for parts, they can build something better than a Steam machine for the price of the Steam machine. But that's kind of like saying, oh, what's the equivalent? It's kind of like maintaining your car. You can maintain every part of your car yourself. If you're a mechanic, you can maintain every part of your car yourself. Should you specifically be maintaining like complicated parts of your car? Probably not. Can the average person with enough work change their brakes? Yes. Should the average person be changing their brakes? Maybe not. And can they do it easily? No. It's kind of like the same argument for the Steam machine. Anybody can do it, but to do it without the knowledge of how to do it would be exceptionally challenging. Like if you just went on to Newegg, for example, and you took all of the same parts that are in a Steam machine and you put them into a basket, it will cost more than what the Steam machine costs. But if you ride those sales, you put them in a basket and let's say you buy them, one goes on 30% off and you buy it. And then a few weeks later, one goes on 50% off and you buy it. You could eventually assemble something cheaper than a Steam machine with the same components. But it, like I said, it does require some work. It does require some industry knowledge as well. True, I've been doing that for years. Yeah, you got to be able to look past the kind of the industry knowledge. I could do it. I could build a PC more powerful than a Steam machine for much cheaper than a Steam machine. But I have to be able to look past that and see what the average person can do. I kind of am in the habit of that because with simulators, I know a lot about simulators. I know a lot about how they work. And sometimes I'll post a video and I realize that I have made that mistake, that I assumed people knew something that the average person doesn't. And it made them, well, it made me look like I was making stuff up, or it made it just impossible for them to follow. So I still make that mistake a lot too, where I forget that I have a little extra knowledge. I'm sure there's got to be a name for this phenomenon or effect or something like that, but I couldn't tell you what it is. If Xbox gets Steam, is Steam Machine even worth it? If Xbox got Steam and was able to run Steam games, no, that would be better than a Steam Machine. I'll tell you right now that that will not happen. I know there's a lot of rumors, and they've been kicking around for a while that Xbox could bring in Steam. I don't think they're true. And if it does happen to be true for the next generation of Xbox, it's not going to cost what it costs this time. It's going to be a lot more expensive. Like I was talking about earlier, that the reason consoles cost what they cost, the reason they're sold at a loss is because they're able to get that pricing back, right? If Xbox added Steam and now Steam was making money on all the games you purchased, Microsoft would no longer be making money and they'd be losing money on the consoles. Because let's say you buy an Xbox for $200 less than it costs to make, they sell it at a loss, but then you download Steam and you only buy games from Steam. Now Microsoft is just losing money and Steam is making insane amounts of money. That's why A, don't think it would happen, but B, if it does, it would be because Xbox made some equivalent to the Steam machine, which is totally possible. We'll see what Xbox does. Xbox is going through kind of a turbulent moment right now. We'll see if they go down that route or if they stick to proprietary consoles as their moneymaker. I'm not sure. Yeah, Steam machines are about $1,000. They are not like a console. Do not think about them like a console. But that being said, think about how much extra money you spent on your Xbox just in the first year, right? You probably bought an Xbox for what, $600 or $700? What's the US dollar price of an Xbox Series X, by the way, so we can have this conversation properly? What is the US dollar price of an Xbox Series X right now? New, not on sale, brand new. Because I actually have never looked up this price. I know in Canadian dollars it's about 800, so I want to say what, like 600 US dollars, but is it really a 6-inch by 6-inch cube? I'll show you one of the faceplates tomorrow. Yes, I don't know if it's, I'll have to measure it, but yeah, it's like this big. It looks like a GameCube. It's like slightly taller than a GameCube. Otherwise, like same dimensions. It's very weird. $400 US. An Xbox Series X is $400 US. New price or new window. Xbox Series S USA. Oh, Series X is what I want, not Series S. Series X USA. And can I buy one from Xbox? 600? What's wrong with this? They have a limited edition one? That's cool. 600 for the all digital. And I think that should be our comparison because the Steam machine is also all digital. There's no disk drive. So it's $600 US, not $400 US. You're all good. You're all good. $600 US. Now think about how much you need to spend on Xbox Game Pass in a year, even for the basic one. It's about what, $90 US for the year for the basic one, because you need that to play online. You do get all the games and stuff like that, but it's almost a mandatory cost, and it's a cost that PC players don't have. They can play all of their games online. Let's call that an extra $100 a year, just to call it even. $100 a year. After 4 years of owning it, it has cost you the same as what a Steam machine has cost just in Game Pass. Then you add the markup that most console games have. It's about $5. Sometimes it's 10. So every game you bought, add another $5. And honestly, it's higher because PC games go on sale all the time. I've never purchased a PC game for full price unless I'm buying something brand new. Genuinely, most of the things I have purchased are 50% off or less. You save a lot of money on PC. I would say probably after 2 years, you'll probably have paid close to the same amount in owning a console as you would for if you bought a Steam machine. Pretty close to that. I don't know. I'm sure somebody could dial in the proper number by extrapolating the average price of a PC game and the average price of a console game and running that versus how many games people tend to buy per year and what the average subscription level of a Xbox Game Pass is, as well as any other costs that Xbox players may incur just from having the console. And get us a better number than that, but I would say just to be safe, after 2 years, you're probably about on the same path. Do you get all the games free on Steam Machine? No, you don't get all of the games for free, but there is free games on the Steam Machine, which console doesn't have a lot of. There are free console games. War Thunder's free, Fortnite's free. You know, there's some good console games that are free. PC games, we have a lot of free options out there. Like, you could game for a few years without ever buying a game with PC for sure. Is Rocket League free? That's crazy. What do you think is the minimum specs for gaming for simulators nowadays? Simulators have gotten very well. Okay, see, this is kind of funny to say because simulators aren't actually that well optimized. They're just not that intensive to begin with. So, like Farming Sim, for example, there's not explosions and smoke and gunshots on screen and 64 players in the map and stuff like that. It's me driving a tractor at 20 kilometers an hour down the road. They're just not very intensive games, and simulators also tend to prioritize lower end hardware better, so you can crank the graphics way down. Call of Duty, you can only go down so much. Simulators, they let you drop it down to almost nothing. Borderline mobile game graphics, if that's what you need to run the game. So simulators are actually one of the most friendly types of, in terms of what you need to run them, one of the friendliest types of games to get into. Unfortunately, the opposite is true for how easy they are to learn, because simulators are some of the hardest games to learn. So a little bit of a trade-off there, but that's okay. Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot to put my TikTok chat back. Hold on. Warzone is free. I didn't know Warzone was free. That's sick. Now, some of these, some of these are on console too, right? PC's got more of them, but console absolutely still has free games. What was that? Oh, it's the old Ford. I don't need that one. Okay, I need probably 2 more things of seeds. Let's go 3. And 3 more bags. Let's go 6 bags of fertilizer. Because it's not all gonna fit into here, but it probably will by the time we're done. Joe, thank you for the 15 streak, dude. I appreciate that. Well, XZ, I don't condone it, but you could, you know, PC does give you that option as well. I don't condone it myself, but you're right, PC does give you that option. Can you play split screen on the Steam machine? That depends on the game, and that's true for console as well. Whether you can play split screen or not is entirely dependent on the game. So if you were playing something like It Takes Two or Split Fiction, that is split screen on the Steam machine. The other nice benefit of PCs is sometimes you can mod games to have split screen as well. So even if they don't actually have split screen, you could actually play more games split screen on PC than you could on console probably. That's entirely dependent on the game. If the game has split screen on console, it also has it on PC. And PCs have emulators as well. Yes, that's true. So if you want to boot up some old-fashioned Halo 2 with some friends, you either need to have an Xbox, an OG Xbox or an Xbox 360, or you can emulate it on PC. Those are your options. So PC doesn't lose the ability to play old games. That's another benefit, right? Is on console, when you upgrade to the latest console, some of your old games become unplayable unless you put it on that console. PC does not have this. PC games from 1998 will still install and run on your console. There's some exceptions. Sometimes new versions of Windows don't play nice with games and stuff like that, but they're very often fixed and put out on the internet for free to download as well, even when that happens, right? So PC does not lose the ability to play old games like console does, which is nice. Can you have an emulator on the Steam machine? It runs Windows, so you can have whatever you want on the Steam machine. You will have to boot it in Windows. It boots to SteamOS natively. You just have to boot it in Windows, and then yes, anything that you can have on a regular PC, you do have on Steam machine as well. Xbox has backwards compatibility for a large amount of its Xbox and 360 titles. That's one thing Xbox has done better, is their backwards compatibility is not bad. It's actually decent. PC is just inherently better because it can always run those games, you know? But yes, Xbox actually isn't that bad for it. And I will say Xbox actually does a decent job. And I guess it's not really Xbox, but Xbox publishers and devs actually do a decent job of reviving games that weren't supposed to be backwards compatible. So if the game wasn't backwards compatible hardware-wise, sometimes they'll re-release it as a downloadable game as well, which I think is pretty cool. It's Xbox's biggest pull. I would say it's one of the two. It's either Game Pass or backwards compatibility is Xbox's biggest trait. Yeah, I do agree with that. Steam has Windows natively. That wasn't released, was it? Yes, it was. Since even before they had released it and they were developing it, the Steam machine has always claimed that you'll be able to run whatever OS you want on it. It actually runs on Linux, so it is SteamOS running on Linux, but you can boot it in Windows, and I believe you can actually dual boot it, so you can just choose whether you want to launch in Windows or you want to launch in SteamOS or Linux or whatever you want to do. Oh, I don't know if it has Windows natively pre-installed. No, you'll have to install it yourself. I don't believe it has it in there. It may have a Linux client pre-installed, but double check that for me. Does Sparx boot to Windows? What type of OS does this AI run on? I don't know, but it runs like garbage, dude. It's got so many viruses, it's insane. Hi, Cara, how's it going? They did stop the backwards compatibility for a bit, but the new CEO started it up again, if I recall correctly. Thank God, because you're right. That is something that actually brings people to Xbox. In fact, that is the reason I bought an Xbox. I didn't really think about that, but the reason I bought an Xbox is so Amy and I could play through all of the Halo games. And that was, yeah, if they didn't have backwards compatibility of some sort, whether they're re-releasing or allowing you to play those games again, I would not have an Xbox right now. That's crazy, dude. How do you run Steam on a Mac? You just download Steam on a Mac. Now, you do have to be careful with Steam on a Mac because not all Steam games are Mac compatible, so you'll just have to check that. But they will tell you. The games will tell you before you buy them whether they run on a Mac or not, so just pay attention to that. And yeah, if you go to the Steam website, you should just be able to select the Apple installer, the Mac installer, and you should be good to go. Hold on, let me ban this 6'7" kid for some reason. Like it's 2016, dude. Oh my God. The map is Nadenthal. By the way, Mark, thank you for those roses and the awesomes on TikTok. Appreciate that. Gry, thank you for the roses as well. Can't wait for Campaign Evolved. That one's going to be good. Yeah. You run Steam on a Mac by installing Linux. We had a Mac. We had an iMac growing up that would just boot to Windows. It was awesome, dude. It wasn't a terribly powerful machine. Like, Macs run better on Mac OS, but it was nice being able to do some Windows things on the Mac. I don't remember why Dad had to do that. Like, he was the one that installed Mac OS on there, or Windows on there, but I cannot remember why he did it. Probably so that it ran World of Warcraft better or something like that. I have no idea. Shadow, thank you for the follow on Twitch, by the way. I appreciate that. Welcome in. Welcome in. How do you run a Steam machine on a PS5? Huh? A Steam machine is a physical device. You can't run a Steam machine on a PS5. And you can't run Steam on a PS5 either. Steam is a, well, Sony will never let you do it, basically. Yeah. Because Apple is a scam. Apple really wants you to stay in their ecosystem. That's for sure. And it's like, it's a decent ecosystem. I think for the average person, like for the average user, 90% of people, Apple is fine. iOS is fine. The Apple ecosystem is fine. It's expensive, but it does the job. For like the other 10% of people who want a game, oh, probably more percentage than that want a game though, right? Anyways, for people who want a game, for people who have certain professional needs, yeah, you hit the limitations of iOS and Windows pretty quick. Like even for me, you know, when I started posting TikTok and streaming and stuff like that, I was on iOS. I didn't have a MacBook or an iMac, but I was on iOS, and I very quickly ran into the issues of Apple basically blocking compatibility for cameras and certain like file types, and even with apps, they just like apps don't interact nicely with iOS at all. The second I switched, it was very nice. Okay, I'm just gonna give it whatever GPS line it wants. I don't know why it wants this, but we're gonna run that. My crop sensor on? Yes, crop sensor is on. Okay, good. Lo and Joseph, thank you for the follows on TikTok. Is there agriculture and farms at 25? Yeah, there's agriculture and farms at 25. Aaron, welcome in as well. The ecosystem is like using a Lamborghini as a daily commuter in the Great White North. It's like using a Lamborghini, but it's not good enough to be a Lamborghini, you know? It's more like having a BMW, where like when a BMW is working, it's an incredible car. It's an incredible piece of engineering. But the second it stops working how it's intended, and then when it tries to interact with the rest of the world, that's when it feels clunky. That's what using Apple feels like, to me at least, is it just feels like it interacts with the rest of the world in a frustrating way, where Windows and Android is like a Honda Civic. It just kind of works the way you need it. It's not perfect and it's not as high end as a BMW, but it just does what you need it to do. It's infinitely customizable. It interacts with the rest of the world seamlessly. That's how I would compare Apple. If you want to use car brands to compare Apple to something, that's probably more similar to the experience. I don't know what a Lamborghini would be. A Linux is like a car that you built out of parts in your garage. It's like a helicopter that you built out of parts in your garage. Should you get in it? Probably not, but if you really want to put the work in, you will get something pretty cool out of it. Yeah. Yeah, I like that. It's going good, Shadow. How's it going? Welcome in. Your chat is green. That's because of Apple, not other phones. Sorry, chat is green. Oh, Apple texts are green. Oh, that's weird. Right, Apple texts are green if they're from something that's not Apple. Yeah, that's right. I forgot about that. Man, it's been a long time since I've used an iOS. How do I join Austin Farmer? He's better. Well, you better get him streaming then. You better get him streaming. He's not live right now. This isn't that playthrough. This is our solo playthrough. We may either move the stream with Austin this week or we won't have one. I've got something crazy happening on Thursday, so I won't be there this week, but we could either move it or just delay it. I'm actually going to see if Austin can join me for that thing, because I think he would like it, and I think it would make really good content for his stuff as well. So I'll see if I can get Austin out there with me. Scos, thanks for the follow, dude. Are we still doing cows? We're not doing cows. We're not doing cows. I mean, you know what? I won't say we're not doing cows. I might do cows near the end of this playthrough, but not yet. Not yet. I'm low-key really mad because on PlayStation PS5 specifically, it has a two-step verification processing that requires a phone number. The phone number that wants me to use, I don't have that phone anymore, and I can't bypass verification, and PlayStation customer service sucks. Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. If you have an account on anything, you should be using two-step verification. Phone number is the best way to do it. Email's okay, but phone number is the best way to do it. However, if you lose access to that phone number, holy is it a nightmare. Yeah, keeping access to your phone number these days is a massive, massive security priority. Like, you cannot change your phone number anymore. If you do, it is a massive pain. Yeah, I'll never give up my phone number because it's very important to have access to. In a world where we just need to authenticate absolutely everything, we gotta have them now. Trying to text my family who's all on Apple is terrible if I'm not using apps like Messenger, Instagram, or WhatsApp. Yeah, my family still, like a lot of them, use Apple as well. And group chats are probably the only annoying part because I think they do it on purpose, but like I think Apple does it on purpose. Androids don't interact very nicely with Apple group chats, and so that part gets a little bit frustrating, but not enough to give up all the other benefits, that's for sure. That's why I use my own MFA not associated with phones. That's probably a good idea. How do you not get bored of your save? How do you get better at seeding this stuff? How do you... Okay, two separate questions. So not getting bored of your save is a matter of having goals, like knowing what you want to do at all times. And if you have some sort of end goal... Hold on, I need to change the music. I don't know why it's so intense today. It's a matter of having goals and knowing where you want your save to end up. Even if it's just like a loose goal of, oh, I want to have a bread company or something like that. That's always the example I use, but have a bread company. You'll always kind of know the direction you're going in, and that's how you get long saves. How do you get better at seeding and stuff? I mean, you can look up, like you can watch people do it, or you can look up how to do it in real life and apply that to your game. But what I find fun is I like testing different strategies. So I will just change it up sometimes when I'm seeding and see what works. And then if I'm doing something that I really like, I'll keep doing that. So for example, I used to use, like this recommends one headland. I like doing two because I've noticed that two headlands fits my style a little bit better. I like doing the skip rows. It doesn't naturally want to skip lines, but I like doing skip lines because I can turn around faster and just keep hitting my lines. You don't go any slower. It doesn't really add any time to your field. In fact, it reduces time. But you just gotta pick up those little tricks as you go. Panzer, thanks for the follow on TikTok. And Shmuel, thank you for the 95 bits. I appreciate that. Went to the hospital yesterday, was so happy getting my cast off, and I arrived there and they said I have to renew my cast to a full cast, so I can't move my arm at all now. Oh my god, dude. Shmuel, how the heck did that happen? It just didn't heal how they expected, or what? That's crazy. What do you think is the best bundle to get Farms to 25 that gets you the most content without spending a lot of money? Ooh, I don't really know what the options are. Is there one that comes with the base game of Farm Sim and then the year one pass discounted? I would say it's probably to buy Farm Sim and then buy the year passes. But
I've just subscribed at
I don't know if there's
for 22
one
months.
where you save money for bundling it, because those would probably be the way to go. It's kind of like the year passes for SnowRunner. Same idea. And Mrs. Crash Prime, thank you for the tier 3 sub for 22 months. Holy. Mrs. Crash, thank you so much for supporting the stream with a tier 3. I really appreciate that. Thank you guys for being here for 22 months as well. I appreciate that too. Almost 2 years. That is crazy. It does not feel like 2 years. I don't know if chat knows this. Crash and Crash Prime are two of the very few people in this stream that I have actually met in real life. And they are as awesome in real life as they are in our chat as well. So really cool experience to actually meet some of you guys in real life and then get to interact with you guys in chat. That's awesome. I really like that. You got your cast removed 2 days ago. How many of you guys have casts? Sorry, what are you guys doing? I've never had a cast. I've never actually broken a bone. And I think part of me is jealous that I've never had the experience, but also not jealous enough to go break my arm. So not gonna happen. Well, not on purpose, at least. Quinton Tessette and user 98 Jones, thanks for the follows on TikTok, guys. I appreciate that. Welcome in. Does anyone know a good way to get more storage on PC? Depends how actively you need to use the storage. Cheapest way to do it in terms of gigabytes per dollar is external drives. So if you don't actually need to download more games and play those games actively, you can buy an external storage device and you can keep stuff on there. So if you just have a bunch of photos and stuff, old projects and files that you don't need immediate access to, that's the cheapest. If you want to be able to store more and actively use it, an HDD hard disk drive is the next cheapest option. The objectively best option though is an SSD, a new SSD. And those are going to get you the fastest read and write speeds, file transfer speeds, and stuff like that. And your games are going to run better when you put them on an SSD. Those will be the objectively best way to do it, but they'll cost the most as well. Will I do another live with Austin Farmer? Yes, absolutely. Every single week we stream with Austin. I'll have to let you guys know about next week because we are working on a separate project that we may have to do in the meantime. But yeah, every week is the current goal. Do you know where I can get answers for questions about Farm Sim 26? Sorry, my English is not good. Probably the Farm Sim Discord is the best place, but maybe Reddit as well. But Farm Sim Discord is my #1 recommendation. I got my opinions on... Oh, onions on the floor. How do I get them up? You need this machine. Let me show you. You need this one right here. Oh, it's not in here. Okay, you can use this. This is the cheaper option to pick them up. There actually is a better option, though, and it is more expensive. But where would they put it, do you think? I guess onion harvesting. This one right here. You could use this one as well. This is a more expensive way to pick up your onions, but it will work, and it'll hold a few of them, and then you need to dump them into a bin. That's like $500,000 though, so you want to be able to pay that off with however many onions you're harvesting. Keenan, thank you for the follow on Twitch. Welcome in, dude. I remember switching from an HDD to an SSD. Rust went from 25 minutes to load to like a few minutes. Yup. When SSD started taking off, there were a lot of games that were taking a long time to load. So stuff like GTA 5 was kind of at its peak and stuff like that. And that one had a notoriously long loading screen. And then SSD started to take off and all of those things went away. It was so nice. Is it worth getting a sim for Farm Sim 25? A wheel and a joystick, yes. A full cockpit, probably not. If you're going to build a full cockpit, it's because you want to use it for probably more than just Farm Sim. I would say more than just one game in particular, with the exception of people who are practicing for racing. So some iRacing players and stuff like that will build a full cockpit just for iRacing, but a lot of them are practicing for the real thing, or they're, you know, simulating with the intent to eventually get into a real car. And in those cases, a full build is worth it. Oh, I don't know why I wanted that line, but we'll give it. What wheel is a good shout? To start, for cheap, a T128. For average, last you 10 years, we'll never have to upgrade, a T248. And then once you want to get into the crazier stuff, and again, more than Farm Sim, there's some direct drive options that's when it gets a little crazy, actually. Ollie, thank you for that follow, dude. The ulcer bone has healed, but now it's my wrist, which the x-ray didn't show anything wrong with my wrist, but that was fractured as well. Oh, well, that sucks. I'm sorry to hear that. Spoiled people wheel for Farm Sim. Try keyboard and mouse. Nah, keyboard and mouse is the worst way to do it. Do controller. Wheel and joystick or controller. Those are the two options, dude. I don't know how you guys are playing with a mouse and keyboard. That's crazy. Now, jokes aside, play with whatever's comfortable for you. If you haven't played yet, I'd recommend a controller or a wheel. But some people are just used to keyboard. I mean, the game originally released to keyboard and mouse only, and some people started then, and they're just used to that. And that's totally fine too. I heard on TikTok about the fires. You're good. I'm good. For once, it's actually not my side of Canada. It is the other side over in Ontario and the east side where the fires are really bad. For once here in Alberta, we're not too bad. We do have some fires out here, a little bit smoky in Calgary, but we've actually got it okay this time around. Saber, thank you for the 210 stream streak. That is crazy, dude. I appreciate that. Welcome in. Bubba, thank you for the 3 stream streak as well. You lost your last streak, dude. Don't even worry about Don't even worry about that. If you ever lose a streak, you can go and watch the last VOD, and sometimes it'll give you your streak back. So if you ever think you missed a stream and you're worried about your streak, go to the channel, go to the VODs, and just watch the latest one. It very often gives you your streak back. I've heard it's actually pretty reliable, actually. And Eager, welcome in. Oh my God, dude. Hook, welcome in with Eager. We got Premixed in here. Oh my God, look at this. Eager, how was your stream? What the heck were you guys doing today? What were you working on? He's also Eager. You rated me a week ago, and then later that night, I saw you go live again. How often do you go live twice a day? And how late do I have to stream so that I can raid you back? Because I never get to raid you, and it's going to happen at some point. There's nothing you could do about it. When can I raid you? Like, if you do these evening streams regularly, well, they're evening for me. I don't know what they are for you. How often do you do these, and what time? Harrison, thank you for that follow as well. Have you ever gotten the tornado warnings? We've gotten them for the past 4 days. In real life, not really, no. I've never lived in a place that has a lot of tornadoes. We do have tornadoes in Alberta, but not any part that I've lived in. I lived in the mountains for a little bit, which is 100% tornado proof. And now here in Calgary, it's not terribly common out this way either. It's like central Alberta and really rural areas that see a lot of tornado warnings and stuff like that, which isn't really where I am at the moment. So one of the people that have overtaken my shorts fees, Eager? It's Eager, I knew it. They're just random. Okay, Eager, we will keep an eye out, because I really do appreciate when you raid over here. You got a great community. Always happy to hang out with them. Thank you for raiding. But we'll get you back. Do I do multiplayer sessions? Sometimes. They're not terribly common. We do get a lot of trolls when we do them, so for my sanity, I don't do them that often. But yeah, we do some multiplayer sessions as well. I'm always impressed with people that do, like when I see Creepy doing multiplayer and the amount of people that he could get in and no trolling is. Although I think sometimes he said he's had trolls in the past. That's always really good to see. You guys, on the other hand, are so poorly behaved. No, I'm just kidding. It's because we stream on TikTok. That's why. It's because we stream on TikTok. I lost my streak for the 4th time now because my Twitch is bugging and not sending any streak broken notifications. That's weird. I hope they get that fixed because, yeah, people care about stream streaks. And we have some bonkers stream streaks. Like, our community is one of the most insane communities for stream streaks I have ever seen on this app. I have not seen stream streak numbers as high as ours in any other stream ever. It's kind of nuts, actually. I hadn't arrived with raid, but I have arrived regardless. That's okay, Darth. Thank you for coming in with Eager as well. I know sometimes you have to bring yourself over, but I appreciate that too. We'll credit you as well. Ethan, thanks for the follow on TikTok. I got first to 25. I'm doing your $100,000 start loan payoff thing to start with. Should I buy a piece of equipment per year, or how do I sort that out? You should buy land first, probably. So do your contracts, get enough for the cheapest piece of land in your map. And then it's really up to you. Like, you can buy some really cheap equipment and start farming. You can start with some greenhouses and just something to haul some water. If you want kind of a more reliable start. There's so many ways to start your save at that point, dude. It's so good. It's so good. You lose your streak all the time. It happens. Hi, Jolly. Welcome in. Welcome in. My stream's at 128. Haven't lost it so far. I think our highest is now Crash Prime. 470? Higher than that. It's like 700, isn't it? 600? It's 30 days off. It's 30 days off of 2 years. So it must be around 700. 712 today? That's insane. That's insane, Crash. See, that's what I mean, dude. Exy says, yeah, I'm back up to 56 after losing my 160 streak. Dang it. That's why I don't like, if I'm too late to a stream, I won't go live on this channel. I'll go live on Sparx After Dark. Because if I'm like an hour plus late and I'm still able to stream, I'll go live on Sparx After Dark. So I don't want to mess up anybody's stream streaks. Now it's a little bit better that you can get your stream streaks back. But it's still, you know, I still want to make sure people can get them. Rawl had an 800 something yesterday. It was crazy. 800. They got to get people more. Like, you should get something else other than other than just the numbers when you get the stream streaks. I saw they're doing these like evolving flower badges now. So that might be kind of cool, like a little bit of a flex so people can see it in chat. So that's something at the very least. I don't know what else they could do. I hardly get streak. I don't pay enough attention to my notifications. That's totally fair. That's totally fair. I don't think I have any crazy streaks on anybody's stream either, because I do find it hard to get to anybody's every single stream, obviously. If I'm not streaming myself. I get to my stream every day, so that's good. Snow, Scotty Cohen, thanks for the follows on TikTok. What kills my weeds in farm sim? Ooh, that depends on the size of the weed. So no matter what herbicide will do it. You can buy it from the shop and you can put it in a sprayer and you can spray it onto your crops and that will kill your weeds. If there's small weeds, you can also buy a weeder and you can drag the weeder across the crop as well, and it will pull out those small weeds with no need to spend money on herbicide. But you got to make sure you do it with narrow tires, and you got to do it at the right time. It can only work on small weeds. Everything else needs to be sprayed, unfortunately. Han, thanks for the follow. This Canada save has come out so well. Dude, we are so far ahead on this save. I know we were stuck with hand tools for a while, but it just exploded. Like, I think this will be our biggest harvest ever. We are sitting on so much product right now. We're sitting on an insane amount of straw even. Like, we're probably pushing 100k in straw right now. Maybe not that much, 50, 60k in straw. And that's just like a byproduct of one of our fields, dude. It's crazy. How many hours do you have on Farm Sim 25 and on the map? 1,500 in Farm Sim 25, 100 on this map. Hold on, let me ban this spam bot or whatever this is. I don't even know what this is. I think it's some sort of bot because it doesn't have any followers or it's not following anything. I'd have a 200-day streak, but Twitch did Twitch things and lost. I know Twitch is almost a little too janky to have stream streaks, but it seems like they're pulling it off okay. Better than I thought. Like, if you would have told me Twitch is adding stream streaks 3 years ago, I would have said like, oh, Twitch is not reliable enough to do that. It's been better than I thought, in all honesty. And again, obviously not perfect with all these people having trouble with stream streaks, but better than I thought. Bought Farm Sim 25 yesterday. I've done a loan to pay things off. Should I buy? Oh, I was talking to you on TikTok. You must have missed my response on TikTok, Dingo. Yeah, I was just telling you that you should buy your first piece of land, and then you should. Then it doesn't really matter what you do. You can do anything. Buy a small tractor so you can start farming. Buy greenhouses for something simple. You could do an easy animal. I mean, you'll need to have food for an animal, so like animal wouldn't be the best place to start, but there's all sorts of things you could do right at the start. How long does it take to be able to start chilling farming? How long does it take to be able to start chilling farming? And what the heck was that? What? Hold on. Oh, it's not showing. I don't know who that was. It's Marnak. For some, on my PC, your name is coming through so weird. I don't know what that was. But thank you for the level ship on TikTok. I've never seen that before, but it looked cool. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Again, I do not know what that's worth. Well, what that does. It almost seems like it's supposed to do something else, but I don't know what it does. Thank you so much, and thank you for the follow as well. Welcome in here. If you let me know what that does, that would be awesome. I don't really know what the levels and stuff do on TikTok. XR, thanks for the follow. Appreciate that. Welcome in. Kevin, thank you for the follow on TikTok as well. And Goose, thank you for the hydrate. I guess that would be important. What should I do? Play Farm Sim 22 and I get bored in like the first 3 hours? You really gotta have some goals. I've got some videos on that, Nolan. If you go watch my videos on how to have long saves in Farm Sim 25, they apply to Farm Sim 22. There's nothing about Farm Sim 25 specifically that makes those videos work. If you go watch those videos, they do apply to Farm Sim 22. Starting the save might be a little bit different, but everything else should work. I'm pretty sure you can even use the loan trick that I talk about in there to start your Farm Sim 22 saves. I'm pretty sure it worked. You don't know yourself. Okay, we'll figure out what it does. But thank you so much for sending that. I appreciate you. Kaiboy, Kevin, Aiden, thanks for the follows as well. I didn't make the wheel work. For Farm Sim, you just plug it in for most wheels. 90% of wheels you just plug in. Because of the lettuce issues in eastern U.S., did anyone hear about the woman who made a salad, but she wanted to get rid of all the parasites, so she gave the salad a bleach bath? Her husband and 5-year-old are in hospital in critical condition, and the 3-year-old didn't make it. Holy. That's messed up. What's crazy is bleach really isn't, as crazy as this sounds, isn't that harmful of a substance. She must have had that thing doused, dude. We gotta have better education for like food safety and stuff like that. Like the amount of people who are still terrified of chicken, the amount of people who still think gloves in a commercial chicken is in a commercial kitchen is a good idea is insane. I think foods class should be mandatory. It was in school for me, so I don't know where all these people are getting their information. Because we had to do food safety in middle school. Middle school, it wasn't mandatory in high school, but it was mandatory in middle school. It must not be the case for everywhere. That's nuts, dude. Yeah, apparently it is lettuce coming from Mexico. There's 7 cases in Canada of whatever this bacteria is, but it wasn't from infected lettuce. 6 of them were travelers who just returned from Mexico, and they don't know what the other one is. Last I heard, but it doesn't seem to be coming from like restaurants or anything here, which is good. We don't source a lot of produce from Mexico because it's a little far to be sending produce. At least not produce that keeps well, like avocados and stuff like that. But lettuce would be kind of nuts. So it's some sort of breakout there, or even it could just be one farm there or something like that. That's insane though. How do greenhouses work? Because I think I saw your video, but is it just like you have a passive income, or how do you actually use them? They spawn pallets and then you sell those pallets. So it's a pretty passive income, but you do need to sell the pallets to make the most amount of money. You actually can have them auto sell, but you do lose some money by auto selling, and you always need to bring water to them. So just keep an eye on the water as well. I got the 98 streak with Sparx, but obviously was in the hospital for 2 weeks and couldn't even look at my phone, so I just lost the streak. Ah, man. I wish you had, like, if you had, like, every 50 streams or something like that, you got, like, a shield for your stream streak, so you could skip one and still keep the stream streak. You know, I feel like they could gamify it a little bit, and that would be kind of sick. Traced to shredded iceberg lettuce from Taylor Farms. It was served at Taco Bell in Indiana, Kentucky, Michigan, Ohio, and West Virginia. Taylor Farms, really? That's a big operation. That is very surprising. What is wrong with the tram lines on this field? Holy, what a nightmare. This one's good. Those are messed up, dude. Looked at the map before I put those ones in. Jesus. I even like what's wrong with the settings? The settings are totally normal. How do we end up with such an insane thing? All right, we'll see how it grows. Maybe it'll grow a little nicer than that, but those are brutal, dude. Oh, maybe it's counting the old tram lines as well. We'll see when it grows. It'll grow next month and we'll know. But that's nuts. Okay, we are done seeding for the year. Thank God. Way too long. I have the same problem on settings. Okay. That's very strange. Hopefully they fix that. It might also just be this map too. Like modded maps might be a little more finicky for tramlines. Or I get Twitch points showing up every day, which can be spent on streak shields or a few days on no ads. Yeah, I like that, Ace. I like that. I would honestly turn off ads if I can. You don't make any money. The only people making money on ads are like queso level streamers. Like I make $100 a month on ads, maybe. And I know we have a lot of people. Maybe I shouldn't say that for everybody because we have a lot of people sub. Like our sub percentage is incredibly high for this size of channel. Like there's people 10 times this size with less subscribers. So we're really lucky to just have a lot of people who sub. And that's probably why ads are so low, because nobody has any ads. But I can't imagine most people are making that much on ads anyways. You just turn them off. That would be great. What's the red and green bar at the top left? That's the nitrogen level. I'll explain that next time I'm on the field and can show you. And the number of tier 3s and the number of tier 3s is also insanely high. Yes, that is true. What's the point of stream streaks other than bragging rights? Bragging rights, and they give you a lot of channel points as well. So if you're going for VIP or something like that, stream streaks actually do give you a lot of channel points. I don't think that's why people go for them. I think people just go for them because they're cool. But the channel points are a nice little benefit, that's for sure. See if we can get all these. Oh, not quite. Small little palette there. Vanilla, Nolan, Oleg, Olaf, thank you for all the follows on TikTok, guys. Welcome in. Happy farming. Thanks so much, Joseph. Welcome in. Harvesting red beets way too long to harvest. Yeah, I could do beets and potatoes and carrots on a very small scale. Fields this size planted with beets, you'll never catch me doing that. You do it once and that's it. Best DLC for Farm Sim 25 is Highlands Fishing so far. That was such a killer DLC, dude. They knocked it out of the park with that. If the next DLC is as good, that will save the year 2 pass. Right now, I think the year 2 pass has been a dud. But if this new DLC at the end of the year is really good, it will save the year 2 pass. Because the year 2 pass is $5 more than the big DLC. So if that DLC is good, I'd get the year pass, but I wouldn't get it yet. Gotta see if that's any good before I can recommend that. That's for sure. All right, I think we sprayed everything. Let's see where we're at here. And then we gotta wait for these poppies to grow. What do you harvest poppies with? A regular grain header will do it. So we're harvesting poppy seeds. Basically what happens is the poppies flower, and then they actually turn into a bulb. And then in that bulb, it's full of seeds, and then they die like that. They actually dry out with the bulb still formed. And then all the moisture leaves, and you're just left with the dry seeds. So a regular grain harvester will do it, at least in Farm Sim. I don't know how true that is for real life, but at least in Farm Sim. And we'll see that process here. Well, actually, we're about to do that. I think that's our next thing is to harvest our poppies, but let me just get everything sorted out. We'll figure that out. Are you on 1 day per month in the settings? I am, but it's actually not the way I typically like to play. I am for stream because we keep it daytime at all times in the stream. Just because otherwise it gets really hard to see for everybody watching on a phone, and like 90% of you guys are on a phone, so we got to keep it easy to see, I guess. Chris and Mama, thank you for the follows. And no, thank you for the hearts and the pops on TikTok, guys. Appreciate that. Hold on, let me ban that. Let me ban that bot as well. Go. What do you think of the new SnowRunner map? Can you recommend it? Yeah, I'm actually really happy with the new SnowRunner map. I would say the new map is my favorite out of the last 3 or 4, actually. I'm quite happy with it. I do have a playthrough of the new map on YouTube and the VODs channel. So if you go to my bio on TikTok and you find the YouTube VODs channel, you can actually watch our first 5 hours of playing. And then I've got another, like the next part of that playthrough comes out over the next couple of days. I can't remember what I scheduled it for. I scheduled it for this week, or I just scheduled it today. And then you'll see a little bit more. You can decide at that point, but I'm super happy with it. MG42K, Zach Lee, thanks for the follows as well, guys. Are poppy plants used in opioid production? The poppy milk or oil, whatever they call it. Yes, they are. Not an option for us in Farm Sim, but yes, that is also possible. Oh, we gotta sell this honey, because I think it has stopped producing honey now that these are full. Oops, I better go get that sorted out. I'm gonna clean up in here a little bit in general. Well, let's go get some water first. Can't find anything about a woman actually washing her lettuce with bleach. I think it might have been misinfo. Might have been bait. I have to look that up. It does sound reasonable. The only part of that story that makes me doubt it is that somebody ingested enough bleach to die, because bleach isn't actually that harmful. When I was little, when I was a kid, my sister actually accidentally drank some bleach. It was in a different container and she thought it was water. I think she only took like a sip before she realized what it was. And we called poison control, and poison control was like, it's bleach. It's not. It's not that big of a deal. So I do kind of doubt that somebody was able to ingest enough of it. But I mean, you never know. Just one TikTok with like 4 comments that's pretending to be a news segment. I think no actual station displayed. Oh, you should maybe fact check that one then. Sparx said that he was going to give VIP to me when I hit 1,000 subs and never did. No, I didn't. In fact, I'm pretty sure I specifically told you I will not do it. So don't hit 1,000 subs, Homer. That sounds a little more like something I would say. Also, what are you even at? I don't need to know. It's more than 1,000 at this point, dude. You're pushing 2,000, I think. It's common here for people to bleach bath their salad and fruit because they think it's a good idea. Same with people who think washing chicken is a good idea. Sorry, this bleach thing is a common thing? Yikes. That's rough. Yeah, people who wash chicken, that's insane. I'm sorry. If you're washing chicken, you're just putting salmonella all over your kitchen. Cooking the chicken sanitizes the whole thing. It's not technically bad for the chicken to wash the chicken. It's just you way increase your chances of cross-contamination that way. Because now you're spraying water all over the place that has salmonella in it. It's better just to leave the salmonella on the chicken, or potential salmonella, on the chicken and cook it, because salmonella does not hold up to the cooking process. So, but again, like this is middle school. This is middle school food safety. It's nuts how common it is. WTF washing chicken. Yeah, unfortunately, this is incredibly common, and you will see people saying that this is a good idea. If you were washing your chicken in a commercial kitchen and a health inspector found out, you'd get a pretty stern warning to stop immediately, but they could potentially shut you down if they found out that, like, if they were able to prove that there was salmonella on other surfaces because of that process, they may shut you down until you do a full sanitization as well. Everybody should work a little bit of commercial foods because it will teach you a lot about food safety in your own home. I think it should be, I don't know, you can't mandate a job, but it's good experience, that's for sure. I don't stream on YouTube, Teddy. Not yet. I was actually thinking about it today. Maybe one day. I will say the YouTube is going through a moment right now. A good moment. There's a lot of people coming here from YouTube. There's a lot of people watching our YouTube channel for the very first time. It may happen in the future, so I won't write it off just yet. 1,452, Homer. Give me your credit card. I'm putting it in a safety deposit box, dude. You can't be trusted with it anymore. You're done. That was your last one. You're out of the sling. Good to hear for me. I'm glad. Side and the wheel and side panel are back in action. Oh man, when I hurt my shoulder, trying to use my steering wheel was a nightmare. I get it. It took me probably 3 or 4 months after my shoulder injury to get back to using my steering wheel. And I think I might have made it worse in the meantime. Like, I think the amount of rally I was playing made my shoulder injury just a little bit worse. I rinse all my meat under running water before cooking it. Yikes! You don't have to. You don't have to. The only, there is one meat washing practice. Okay, there's 2 meat washing practices that you should employ. The first is the obvious one. The second is if you wash, beef. If you wash beef in, like, I think it's a baking soda mix. Oh, it's an Amber Alert. Yeah, it's called Velveteen. It's not washing, it's an Amber. It's called Velveteen. This is an Amber Alert. All Calgarians are asked to check their property and contact 911. Oh, where is it? Sorry, I just need to see if this is close to me. I don't really know the communities in Calgary to know how close this is to me. No. Wow, dang, that's scary. I hope they find him. But you just got that same alert. Yeah, hopefully they find him. That's not terribly close to me, but I also don't have any properties, so it's. I would honestly. It's close enough that I would check if I had any property. You just got that in Edmonton? What the heck? I mean, yeah, it's possible. I saw on the Calgary Reddit last night, they were doing like a coordinated search through Reddit, that's a cool use for Reddit. I have a little bit more faith in Reddit. After seeing that. Oh, that's a good 4,400 bucks, dude. Wow, it's about 4,200. It's not a small amount of money though. We may as well get the mushrooms over here. Check for what Amber Alert. It's a missing child is what an Amber Alert is. All of Alberta got it. Oh, good for them. Good for them. I mean, they do work, but totally not necessary. Just an extra step and more money spent for minimal results. Sorry, for what? Oh, like oxygenating water and stuff like. Yeah, you'd really gotta be aware of those types of scams. You can't add oxygen to water. That would change what it is fundamentally. You can carbonate water, but that's, well, you can oxygenate water, but like, I don't think the body can make any use out of that, right? If you were a fish, maybe. If you were pouring it in your gills, oxygenating your water might help you out, but I don't have gills. I don't know about the rest of you guys. What area of town is it? I have a bunch of friends there that could check. By the airport. They would have gotten the notification as well, but it seems like it's out by the airport. Just made 350K on 6 acres of fried onions. Yeah, that's right. Isn't that nuts, dude? Fried onions are insane. Fried onions are nuts. Actually, if you want to do better than fried onions, there is a better one. Onion soup. Onion soup will actually make you more money. This contraption actually isn't in game. This is with the hand tools pack. Absolutely worth it for any playthrough. Even if you don't want to farm with the hand tools, because I get it. They're a little bit asinine. But this is worth getting the pack in your save just to have. It doesn't take much longer to use than a tractor does. Like in my case, I'd have to go get a tractor, hook up the forks, bring it all the way over here. It's just easier for me to grab this little guy and then do that. You should have done that race to 1 million if that's... Wait. You should have done that on race to 1 million if you get that much for that few acres. The problem with onions, and it is actually one of our considerations, but the problem with onions is that the production is nearly $500,000. You can't do it at a small scale. And you can't plant it with hand tools either. You can harvest it with hand tools, but you can't plant it with hand tools. So onions, they're on my radar, but I gotta find a cheap way to farm them. Okay, so this is good. I just need to check all 3 fields, make sure they're set before we skip. And then we might have to go spray that one that we just put down because it may grow weeds here. Oh, and John Dan Scotter, thanks for the follows on Twitch or TikTok, guys. Appreciate that. And that one, same thing. Okay, I think we're good to skip some time and see where we end up. Let's go to, what month is it? It's going to be August. Let's go 5 a.m. in August. Thinking about getting the new SnowRunner DLC, but I'm the only one in my friend group playing it. It's still good solo. Obviously, SnowRunner is even better in a group, but it's actually still good solo. I had a really good time. That map in particular might be really good for co-op. But yeah, the solo experience is still quite decent. All right. Now, this is going to have grown a little bit more. The other fields are in the same position, but what happened to this one? Yes, massive weeds. Oh, look at these tram lines, dude. These are abysmal. What the heck even happened here? Ugh. Can we blame Walter for this? How do I blame Walter for this? Like, what is this? What is going on here? Who needs that? That's horrendous. This is normal. This is normal. And then another double. Does this need to be plowed or something? Like, was that the problem here? That might need to be cultivated to reset the tram lines. I wonder if that, because these tram lines are good. These tram lines are good. This one's a nightmare because it hasn't been cultivated, maybe. And this one's an absolute crap show. Oh, man. Walter drove through your field. Now you're Jeremy Clarkson. I like that. That's good. We might just cultivate it next season just to get rid of those tram lines because these are beautiful. Look at this. That's flawless. This is okay. It's nearly flawless. It looks like it missed a little bit here, but nearly flawless tram lines. Might be the shape as well. I don't know if the shape can mess it up, in which case I could buy 43 and plow it. Maybe 119,000. I could almost buy it right now. Okay, let's go get the sprayer though, so that we can get those weeds off and then we can get to harvest. Spraying doesn't take long at all, so we'll be set. 96K is how much we're sitting on after the honey and the mushrooms though. Do we need more? Oh, ended up putting some lime in here accidentally. Oh yeah, we need more herbicide. Got that land from Walter? Yep, that's my land from Walter. That is a piece of junk. Walter's a terrible farmer and I do resent him for it. All right, let's go find... What's that? That is liquid fert. Go find some herbicide instead. Also, did you see the news I posted in Discord? IRL, the Chiapas area got a 7.3 earthquake. Oh, is that the same area as in SnowRunner? 7.3. Holy dude. Do I need herbicide? I say herbs, but I say herbicide. Should I be saying herbicide? Because like when I'm talking about the kitchen stuff, it's herbs, but I say herbicide for this stuff. But Herb didn't do anything. He doesn't deserve to be decided. Or Herbert. Herbert? Is Herb short for Herbert? Or is... Might have that. I might have made that up. That might be a different name. Anyways. Yeah, SnowRunner 18 is the Chiapas region. Okay, gotcha. You mister that beans instead of beams. I just said beans the second time again. I listen. If nobody notices, I'm going to keep saying it. Oh, this tramline actually did go in. So it said it didn't on the map, but this tramline actually did go in. So this is a flawless tramline here. Go see this one over here. I need those joysticks. Where can I get them? Get them directly from Thrustmaster. I have a discount code now too. By the way, chat, I don't know if you heard, I have a Thrustmaster discount now, which is awesome. So if you've been waiting to get some farm sticks, I can now get you a discount on them, which is pretty sweet. Just get them right from Thrustmaster, use my code, and you'll be set. I don't do a lot of promo codes and stuff like that because I like being able to talk about stuff without it seeming like it's sponsored. So unless it gives a discount, I don't usually promote it. But in this case, it's a discount. And that company, I did that video on that eye tracker, and that company reached out to me after they saw the video, and they said they're going to try and put together a discount code for that for us, which I'm down for. That wasn't a paid promo. That was just like a video. But if they'll give us a discount code, I'll take that. I think that would be totally fine. As long as people get something out of it, you know? The real question is, do you pronounce it data or data? I say data, but depending on the context, I'll sometimes swap between them, like for whichever sounds better in that exact moment. I've definitely caught myself switching between data and data depending on the way that I'm saying it. It should be data. It should be data, I think. The only time it would be data is potentially if it's a not an abbreviation, an acronym. Because sometimes those vowel rules don't apply to acronyms. But I don't really know exactly how that works, so I'm going to keep saying data. Do you say aluminium like the Americans and miss out half the letters? Well, we spell it differently. So we actually spell it aluminum. The Brits say aluminium, but they also actually spell it that way. I say aluminum, but I'm pretty sure it is actually aluminium. Like it is the first person to name it in English, I'm pretty sure it was called aluminium. But why say aluminum? We grew up saying aluminum instead. I used the term Mr. Android. What? Oh, for Star Trek. Do they call him They call him Data. Oh, that's, yeah. If you called Data in Star Trek, you'd seem like a psycho. So it's Data, as per Star Trek. Why would you pronounce the A's differently in Data? Because the second A modifies the first A. So in English, in normal English vowel rules, a vowel separated by, or two vowels separated by a single consonant modifies the sound of the first vowel. So D-A-T-A, that second A, because the T is just one consonant, modifies the first A to be a long A. Data. That would be the correct way to pronounce it in terms of English rule, like phonetics. Some words do break that rule, but it's usually because they're borrowed from another language. So most words that you could call out follow that rule, but there are some that don't. So for example, in Surfside message, Surfside says give. Give is a short I, despite it seemingly being required to follow that rule. It's not Give. Technically, it should be pronounced Give by that rule, but it's not. So like, you could definitely say that Data doesn't need to follow that rule. I'm not sure what the cutoff is, like why some words need to allow that modification and some block it. I have no idea. The real answer is that if people know what you're talking about, it probably doesn't matter at all. I'm kind of a big, like, I'm not a big language snob. I like learning about the rules and stuff. I love etymology. But I am very much a fan of the approach of if people know what you're talking about, it's the right way to say it. I'm totally fine with that. Like read and read. Yeah, that's a different thing. Like that's not a vowel modification thing. That's like the pronunciation changes based on the usage. And I don't know how those rules work at all. That's even crazier. Because the English language, and there's always an exception. Yeah, English is like, the joke is that English is 9 languages masquerading in a trench coat. And that's absolutely true, especially for Canadians, because we add more languages. But yeah, like English doesn't do a good job of following its rules. It's kind of a delinquent. Like some other languages, like Chinese, big on rules. Chinese, like Mandarin, or simplified Chinese, very big on rules. It makes it hard for people coming from a really strict language to learn English, because English is really bad at following its own rules, and English constantly changes, even more so than some other languages out there. So it's a hard language to learn because it's a stupid language, not because it's there's anything special about it. It's just a poorly managed language, to be honest with you. I wish I knew Mandarin and Cantonese. I wish I knew Mandarin. That's the one language that would get you speaking to the most amount of people. The others that I'd like to learn are Tagalog. We have a lot of Filipino people in Canada, and they're awesome, and I think it'd be awesome to speak that language. Also, it's a cool sounding language, so I just think it would be cool. And Mandarin you'd be able to speak to a lot of people. Hindi's the other one. If you can speak Hindi, you can speak to a lot of people. More so than you can speak to in English, that's for sure. Before E, except after C, dumbest thing ever. Yeah, that rule doesn't hold up sometimes either. So that's what I mean. Like so many of these rules, so-called rules in the English language, they don't even work. They don't make any sense. I know, it's insane. You speak English from remembering, not from following the rules. Yes, totally correct. You speak English from remembering and developing a sense for what sounds weird and what doesn't. And that's how you know the rules in English. It's not remembering specific rules. You're right. It is developing the sense of what sounds weird and what doesn't, because I can't tell you when to use certain pronunciations of things, or when to use certain words and when not to use certain words, because you break that rule all the time, and you only know you're breaking it like for real breaking it in a way that sounds wrong when it just feels a little bit weird. But how would you do that in a new language? Like I couldn't tell you what feels weird in French. I don't speak enough French to have a sense for what feels strange. I just send it and see what happens. Yeah, totally correct, dude. Red is past tense. Example. No, I I know when to use read and read. Thank you. I know when to use read and read. I don't know what rule dictates why it's spelled the same way but pronounced differently. That's the weird part. I know when to use each one. Thank you very much. I did pass second grade. But I don't know. I don't know where the rule for that comes from, you know? Also, how do I say your name? Is it Mama K? Thank you for the 2 more level up ships. I still don't know what they do. How many coins are those? Or is it Marna? The letters are so weird. How do I say your name? Marnak. Oh, maybe it's just Marnak. Marnak! Thank you so much for those. Appreciate that. Oh, this isn't a laser herbicide thing. It is the precision farming sprayer modification. So those aren't lasers. Those are spritz of herbicide. They're just timed with the weeds instead. No, you're good, Dennis. No worries at all. Did you know you can only ran in campgrounds because it's past tense? Crash? I'm refusing to laugh because I've heard it before. Disgusting, dude. But well done. I'm not from an English-speaking country, but I know how to speak it somewhat good, but I have zero idea what present simple is. What present simple is. What does that mean? What is present simple? Hindi's really common here too. Cab drivers on the phone while they're speaking Hindi, thinking that a Caucasian person doesn't know the language. That would be the coolest part about speaking another language. Don't pretend you wouldn't do the same thing. If you moved to another country and you spoke a language that nobody else spoke, don't pretend you wouldn't abuse that sometimes too. I know people like to get all up in arms about that, but you know we'd be doing the same thing. Speaking English in India, you know, like... I don't think people have an obligation to communicate around you in a language that you speak. That's a little entitled for my taste, but it does happen, of course. What's the best game that you've played? This one, dude. This game is the best game I've played in my entire life. This thing freaking rocks. Cupcake and Jono Slam, thanks to the follows on TikTok. Present simple is like the past or the future is a verb thing. You guys are giving me too much credit. I don't even know what a verb is. I know past tense. I know that makes sense. That's when you run in a campground. Don't know what a verb is. Don't know what an adjective is. What's another one? A reverb? Don't know what that is either. I think that's the echo in music. So it doesn't make any sense to me. This game is way better than Star Citizen. True. Don't let Dad hear you say it. Adverb? I don't know what an adverb is, but I'm aware that reverb is not actually a type of word. Adjective is a describing word. I will forget that 5 minutes from now. If you ask me what an adjective is 5 minutes from now, I promise you I will not be able to give you the right answer. Reed, thank you for the follow on TikTok, dude. I appreciate that. Conrad says, I'm abusing my language in other countries a lot more. Private talk without anybody understanding. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. We all do it, dude. Don't ask me. I'm illiterate in both Canadian languages. That's how I feel, Jolly. That is how I feel, dude. I hate when someone doesn't know the difference between your and you are. Yeah, I agree with that. That seems to be the bare minimum. Like... See, I was just saying that generally I feel like as long as people understand what you're talking about, maybe I'm a little bit of a language snob. There are places I draw the line. Generally, I do think that as long as people know what you're talking about, it's good enough. But in the case of your and the other one, wait, how many are there? I think it's just you, yours and yours with that one. Oh, it's they, and their, and theirs. That's the one that has 3, right? Their, theirs. Maybe that one's 2 as well. Oh, yeah. No, it is 3 because there's a contraction. So there's THEIR, THERE, and then the contraction THEY, comma, apostrophe, RE. That's right. No, bare minimum is knowing what an adjective is. Shush! I don't want to hear it. I don't know the difference of someone that learned their English online. No, that's totally fine. That's totally fine. It's one of those things where I guess that's actually maybe one of the times where English has a hard rule on it. See, it's funny because we would not have rules for other stuff, or we break rules for other stuff, but then English speakers will try and enforce that one really strictly, even though we have all sorts of other rules that we break. No wonder people have trouble learning this language. It's ridiculous. It doesn't make any sense. Michael and Freddie, thanks for the follows and the shares on TikTok. What make model is your wheel setup? It's a T598, a Thrustmaster T598. It's a direct drive wheel. It's like a cheap direct drive wheel. We're running it for a little bit because it runs on the T248 keybinds in games. So like every game that's wheel compatible is pre-bound for a T248. It's one of the most common wheels of all time. But this can use its bindings to also be bound for every single game that I play. So I haven't really had the need to change it. Now, we may be testing a new wheel. A company did reach out to me and does want me to test another wheel. So it may change once again, but we'll see. I will admit I'm a little bit skeptical of this one. And I may not switch it out for stream because it may not actually work with most of our games. So I may just do a video on it and test it separately. But we'll take a look. French is ridiculous because of the gender for every word. Yeah, gendered words is weird. That's one thing that English does right, is no gendered words. That's insane. That's insane. You guys missed with that one. Sorry, France, but like that one, come on. Spanish, you're in on this one too. I'm sure there's other languages that do that, but that's the only two that I know of. Probably Italian. I bet Italian does gendered words as well. They like being extra like that. How is Dad liking the T598 that you gave him? I don't know. I don't even know if he's hooked it up yet. I have to ask him. I don't know if he's ever actually used it. You know English better than your native language? What's your native language? See here, like English is my native language, but we also learned French growing up because we have 2 official languages in Canada, English and French. And so we have to learn some French. I can't really speak fluent French or anywhere close to fluent French, but I can speak enough of it that I can listen to French okay, and I can read French pretty well, actually. Listening to French can be a little bit hard in music when it's faster and, you know, doesn't always follow the same rules, or when, like, people speak it very quickly. Like, the French are easier to understand than the Quebecois, as somebody with a very rudimentary understanding of French, because the Quebecois, it's so much slang and it's so fast, whereas the French, they like their rules with the language. That maybe is only true on the internet. Like, I don't know, in person there might be a little more, like, they may be a little more casual with it, but my only interaction with French is like in movies and TV and like seeing it on TikTok and stuff like that. Be careful, Sparx. What are you gonna do? You gonna slang at me? Spirit Chronic? I think most of the romance-based languages have gendered words. I've never really understood what that meant, like what a romance-based language is. I don't know what that means. What's a romance-based language? Can't you be romantic in every language? Except Quebecois? Every other language is fine. I can't imagine French-speaking Canadians being romantic, dude. That's insane. Dying, thank you for the follow on Twitch, dude. Appreciate that. Why are all Canadians so nice? They're not all so nice. Like, Canadians aren't always nice, but they are a lot more friendly. Nice and friendly are different. Canadians are friendly. Not all Canadians are like super positive and nice per se. but we just have like a really friendly culture here compared to other places. Like, you can talk to strangers in public and it's totally normal. Like, have a conversation. If you go up to a stranger in public, you can have a conversation with them here and it's not that weird. Some of the younger people, I was talking about this the other day, some younger Canadians are getting weird about it, which is a shame. But like, if you just went up to anybody over the age of 50 in Canada and started talking, they would just have a conversation with you. Whereas like, there's places that I've been to where that would actually be rude. Like, you should definitely not do that. Or people are going to think you're a freak. Whereas here, like, I think every time I leave the house, I have some sort of small exchange with a random person that I didn't need to have, like outside of somebody who's working at a store I'm shopping at or something like that. I think almost every time I leave the house, I just have an exchange with a random person. French has a regulatory board in France. Really? English doesn't have that, do they? I think the French Canadians have that as well, I believe. It's too extreme. Yeah, those are too extreme. So like, Canadians are very willing to have those kind of conversations, whereas like the Swedes are like really against it. You actually, as a Canadian, if you go down to the southern US, it actually feels quite similar. If you go to the upper Midwest, it feels quite similar. But if you go to New York, it's not. That's when you notice there's a big difference. If you go to France, you'll notice a huge difference. If you go to, is there anywhere a little more similar? I don't know if I've ever been anywhere quite as similar. Like I said, those two kind of places in the US, you'll notice it, but everywhere else it does feel quite different. I don't know if there's anywhere that is like really, really chatty, kind of like the Canadians are.
Kevin Banks 00 just subscribed with Prime.
Kevin, thanks for the Prime sub for, oh my God, almost a whole year, dude. Kevin, thanks for using your Prime sub in here. I really appreciate that. 5 most widely spoken Romance languages of native speakers are Spanish, Portuguese, French, Italian, and Romanian. Romanian? Yeah, but what makes it a Romance language? Like, what is that? I know which languages are, but like, what? I didn't know Romanian. That's crazy. But what makes it that? Is it where it comes from? In France, they disrespected the French Canadians. Yeah, they don't like the French Canadians. They're very rude to the French Canadians. Not that the rest of Canada is much better.
Just
I feel like regular Canadians are rude to the French Canadians as well.
Been almost a year now.
Seb, also 11 months. Holy dude. Seb, thank you for the tier 3 sub for 11 months. You're correct. Almost an entire year. That is insane. Enjoy your platinum badge for 1 more month because it's going diamond after this. And thank you for subbing at tier 3 and supporting the stream, dude. I really appreciate you. That's insane. And welcome in. If you're just getting in, how you been? The term romance, hold on, let me find my line first. The term romance derives from the vulgar Latin adverb romanis, in Roman. Oh, so it's romance as in Roman, not romantic. Which may be the root word of romantic as well, but okay, that makes a lot more sense. Northern UK is the same. Don't talk to strangers here. You'll get punched. South is a bit more tolerant. Interesting. I've always wondered about the UK because I've never been there, but I'll go one day. I'll let you know. Harry and Kukrin, thank you for the follows on TikTok, guys. Appreciate that. I can speak 3 languages, but can understand most Nordic languages. I like where there's a lot of carryover with language. That's cool. Like French and English are like that. English and Spanish are like that. French and Spanish are like that. So you can kind of float between the languages a little bit. The other really crazy one is Dutch and English. It's so similar. You can almost understand what a Dutch person is talking about as an English speaker with no knowledge of Dutch. It's not quite good enough to just like understand a Dutch speaker, but you pick up a surprising amount because other languages in the region like aren't that similar. Like German as an English speaker, not a natural language. Nordic languages, very foreign to an English speaker. Like even in Sweden, knowing my manners in Sweden was kind of tough. I did not pick up a lot of Swedish while I was there. Icelandic, not a word. I didn't pick up a single Icelandic word when I was in Iceland. I think I learned my pleases and thank yous, and that was literally it. And I've already forgotten. Although it might be talk, it just also might be like Norwegian and Swedish. Do you use precision farming mod? Yes, that's where our tram lines are coming from at the moment. You speak American English? I speak Canadian English. Our English is actually classified as a different type of English, kind of like Australian English is and UK English is. Like if I post something on TikTok, it'll actually offer to translate it to you if your language is in American English. And the only thing it will do is it will remove some vowels from words because we spell some words differently than the Americans do. We spell a little bit closer to how the UK does it. We still don't say aluminium, but we put a lot of unnecessary U's in there. That's where you pick that up, Surfside? That's crazy, dude. What do you think about Argentina in the World Cup? I don't think about Argentina in the World Cup. I do not think about the World Cup. But what is there to think? When is the last game? If you say you like Argentina, I'm going to crash out. Why? Is it bad to like Argentina? They play soccer. All I know is that they're good. That's all I know. Do they have the finals figured out yet? Who's playing now? What's left of the World Cup? What's still happening? Oh, because of the whole flag thing. Was that them or was that somebody running out onto the pitch? I thought that was somebody running out onto the pitch, not the Argentinian team. They've been cheating. I will say FIFA is not terribly consistent with enforcing their rules. I have noticed that. As with everybody else, they've been a little bit rule bendy lately. The third game, place and the final, and who's playing? Oh, right. So it'll have to be the final first, then, right? And then they play the third place game. Oh no, they can play the third place game and then the final. What am I talking about? Okay, so who's playing for third? Who's playing for third, and then who's in the finals? Argentina and England in the finals, or I don't even know who's playing. Third place is the English and the French. Oh, shoot. Who's playing for first then? Final is tomorrow. Third is France. France and England today. Oh, okay. France versus England. I think France is going to win, but England has had a really good run. Spain and Argentina in the finals. Oh, okay. What else is new? Big surprise there. BTO, thanks for the follows. And for the Faroe Islands, it's almost the same as Icelandic language. In the Faroe Islands is almost the same as Icelandic. I don't know the history of the Faroe Islands and like where the language comes from. So I find that surprising, but maybe that wouldn't be surprising from somebody who knows the history, because I have no idea. France and England is starting in an hour. Okay. Okay. France and England. Who's going to win? I think it's going to be France because, I mean, I only have a really rudimentary knowledge of soccer, but France seems like a really good team. And England also seems like a really good team, but it seemed like people were a little bit surprised that they made it as far as they did. So I feel like France is the one that's expected to win, right? It's going to be France. Okay. Should I have precision farming on as a new player? No. Don't use precision farming as a new player. Regular farm sim, learn regular farm sim, use this 500 hours in, 500 plus hours in. It's not new player friendly at all. It makes the game a lot more convoluted. Spain has only ever gotten into the final twice in 2010 when they won, and this year. Wait, really? I thought Spain was like a more commonly good team. Like I thought they were like top 5 teams. And I'm just going by vibes because I don't know any of the rankings. I've never looked that up. I'm just going by vibes, dude. Argentina beat England because England played terribly. Did they? Why do people think they're cheating? I mean, I feel like I hear this every single time there's a World Cup. Everybody thinks somebody's cheating. But like, are there any actual potential cheating concerns this year? Or is it just people upset that their favorite team is losing? Most of us in the UK are just salty because we lost. Oh, okay. That's fine. That's fine. So it's like you recognize that it's like probably not actually happening, but you got to say it to be a patriot. I get you. That one's fair. No, literally, there's a bias towards Argentina. People thinking Argentina is winning, or FIFA has a bias towards Argentina, which is obviously true, or like there's a bias towards Argentina cheating. There's literally proof FIFA favorites Argentina. I agree with that. That's not cheating, but I do agree with that. That's separate. Because that's on FIFA's side, and I'm sure Argentina is a big fan of that happening. But, like, that's not cheating at the end of the day. Unless it comes out that they're paying FIFA for that privilege, which I doubt. I think they just make FIFA a lot of money. And so they get some, you know, they get some major bias from FIFA. But this is FIFA we're talking about here. Who's surprised? Referee decisions seem to favor Argentina in a way a bit more often than ours. Yeah, I think that's definitely happening. Like, just because Argentina makes FIFA a lot of cash, that's probably happening. Like, if Messi ends up in the World Cup, FIFA probably makes many extra millions of dollars, dude. it's no surprise. They run that thing like a business. Probably a little bit too much. Elio and Nathan and Amon, thank you for the follows on TikTok, guys. Probably Eamon, not Amon, but Eamon, thank you for the follow. It's not a language or a name you see very often. Sparx, how you doing today? I'm doing good, Billy. How are you? You're 100% right, though. Listen, the world becomes an easy place when you just follow the money. That's it. I feel like I say this every single stream, but the world just kind of clicks when you look at where the money is going. Everything makes sense. Every conversation we've had today makes sense when you just look at where the money is. It makes the world feel like a very simple place, to be honest with you. Both sides spent the first half wrestling each other. Well, they haven't seen each other in 4 years. They just got to get it out of their systems, you know. They're soccer players, you know. Argentina elbowed an English player very clearly to see, and no foul or anything. Tackles were dirty as hell and no foul. As soon as we touched the player, we got cards. I'm agreeing with you, just for the record. I'm certain that this is happening, dude. I'm certain it's happening. And that's why Qatar got the World Cup in 2022. They paid for it, probably. Qatar's so good at money. They love money. They got so much of it. I'm sure that also happened. Pretty sure the FBI has launched an investigation into Argentina Football Association for money laundering. They're all laundering money, dude. Every single football team in the world is being used to some degree to launder money. Look at any of the people backing any of these teams. They're the shadiest people on the planet. It's like fine art. We all know nobody actually cares about spending millions of dollars on paintings. It's just money laundering. Sports teams are the same thing. It's just rich people dodging taxes and laundering money. Let's be real here, dude. Oh my God. I feel like the players of the UK, the referees are scared half the players will pull out a knife. Well, clearly not, because they're still carding the players, so clearly not. Dude, if I wouldn't be a referee in the World Cup. You'd be putting your life on the line to be a ref in the World Cup. You'd have to go anonymous. They should be wearing masks, because like soccer fans are psychotic, dude. Like, they'll kill players for messing up. I'm not gonna be a ref in the World Cup. You have to go with the witness protection program after the first year. That's crazy. After the first game, you'd have to go in. You have the best knowledge and you don't even watch football? I don't have any knowledge about football. I'm literally just talking about the money and the vibes. That's all I'm going off of. There's no knowledge here. We're just doing money and vibes. That's it. I need that on a t-shirt. Money and vibes is a sick t-shirt, dude. What's a good starter wheel and pedal for Xbox using for farm sim? The Thrustmaster T128, Duffy, is the best starter wheel, especially for farm sim. Fans already killed players back in the 80s. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, it's nuts, dude. Wasn't there, Amy was telling me about this, but wasn't there a goalkeeper who, oh no, it was a player that, it wasn't a goalkeeper, it was a player that scored on their own team's net and then like got murdered. Like, that's crazy, dude. Money and vibes is all you need in life. I like that. This is good, Mako. I like this. As a player from Cuba, oh my God, dude, that's insane. Yeah, that, and what's crazy is that doesn't even really surprise me that much, because soccer fans are nuts. Dilma, thank you for the follow on Twitch, by the way. I appreciate that. There were riots after the match on the street. That's every sport. They do that here for hockey. They do that all around the world for soccer. They do that in America for football. Sports players, I mean, if you get a bunch of drunk people with less than 100 IQ points together and make them mad,
Frankie's
it's kind of just a recipe for,
just subscribed with Prime.
For a riot. Frankie, thank you for the Prime sub. Oh, well, yeah, Frankie. Thank you for the Prime sub for an entire year, dude. I appreciate that. Oh, my God. And welcome in. If you're just getting in, welcome in as well. There was a Colombian defenser that scored, Cuban, that scored on their own goal. That would be embarrassing. I'd go into witness protection after that. That's for sure. Indo, thank you for the follow on TikTok. I appreciate that. Lose-lose scenario, everybody blames you. Yep. That's the thing about being a ref, too, is you're totally right. One team is going to be mad about every single decision you make. You never make a decision where everybody's happy because one team is always upset with you for every decision. That's a crazy way to look at it, but you're totally correct. Yeah, I play on PC. Question, do you know any mods that has an AI that follows you alongside? Not on console, but on PC. I think it's called the Follow Me mod or something like that. And then there's Courseplay, which you may be able to use for something similar. To solve whatever problem you're having, you may be able to use Courseplay to do it. This tractor is kind of a weirdo, to be honest with you. I don't really know what it is. It's technically a Fendt, but it seems to be lacking a lot of Fendt branding. And it's basically a dedicated sprayer tractor. It has a little less than 200 horsepower motor under the cab. And then the front is a tank, a sprayer tank. It's a very weird piece of machinery, dude. How do you get tram lines? Is it precision farming? You got it, precision farming. I think there'll be a lot of goals tonight, so Messi doesn't win the golden boot. So wait, so Messi, what's the golden boot? I don't know what that means. I think there will be a lot of goals tonight, so Messi doesn't win the golden boot. Is that just the World Cup? The World Cup kind of looks like a boot. No, we don't have cows. Alex, get out of here. Cubs #1 hater. Thank you for the follow on Twitch. Well done. Love the name. Little 200 horsepower? Oh, right. That's big for the Europeans. It's okay. You work with what you've got, Europe. Yeah, 200 horsepower is a little tractor around here. What can I say? We got big engines around here. It's okay. 200 horsepower is more than up. It's about how you use it, XC. All right? It's about how you use it. Top goal scorer in one game or like total for the whole series? Your Wi-Fi is still out? Dang, dude. There's a guy in the UK with a high horsepower 9RX. Yeah, the fact that you have to say there is one person with a 9RX proves my point. If it is an event for one person to have a 9RX, that's proving my point, dude. I have like 8 neighbors with a 9RX. I can see multiple 9RXs out my window on any given day, dude. That's a little bit of a different pace. How long is the sprayer working with? 21 meters. It's a very early game machine. The benefit being that you can use this tractor for other stuff as well. So it's probably smaller than what we should be running. I'm going to try and get a bigger sprayer by the next time that we need to spray. I'm going to try and get a bigger sprayer. We'll actually have to do it by the next time we plant so we can put the proper trams in. Otherwise, I might be in a little bit of trouble. How do you control your camera with the wheel setup? This little joystick right here is a thumb joystick on the top of this one. It's probably the best part of the farm stick in general, honestly. It's so good. KRT Media and Smoke, thanks to the follows, guys. What is in the discount yard? Oh, we better go look because we've slept since the last discount. Actually, the discount yard changes very slowly. Let me look at... Oh. Cool. That'll be handy for coffee. Let me skip more time. And then we'll go see if we can see more in the discount yard. Because it only cycles a couple of things out every month. It's not really that fast. Yeah, I got bored of Farm Sim 26 pretty quickly as well. I mean, it just starts you off with so much stuff, and there's not that many machines in the game, so you kind of run into stuff pretty early. If you could start from scratch in Farm Sim 26, I'd have had a way better time, honestly. Best moneymaker is a new save, new player. Everybody's going to tell you soybeans, and it's mostly because soybeans are easy and they're relatively high yield. If you're just learning the game, soybeans are a good way to go. But I would actually suggest you do wheat and you learn how to make bread. That will teach you more than doing soybeans. Soybeans are good money for a basic crop, but grabbing wheats and learning to bake bread and sell a product is going to make you way more money. It's P contracts? Hell no. Don't tell people grapes. You guys are bad. You guys are bad people. Oh my God. How do you sleep at night telling new players to farm grapes, dude? I would need to repent after that. Go hit a church up real quick. You don't go to hell for telling new players that grapes are good money. We're on, what map is this? Nated. What crop is profitable for the start of a save file? Like I said, do wheat and turn it into bread. It's the best way to do it. This is a huge mess. I'll just fix it. I'll just do it. By closing my eyes and not thinking. I would imagine that's how a lot of people sleep with doing a lot of bad stuff, is by not thinking. Red beets are another, yeah, red beets are another one that are not very new player friendly, that's for sure. What about milk? Milk is hard for new players. Cows are not an easy animal to farm, and I would not recommend cattle for new players, actually. Oh, this is actually stuck in the barn. You unstick it? I think so. Yeah, milk and dairy in general is pretty tough. I don't think new players should generally try. I would go with like an arable crop first, and then try animals a little bit later on. You can try it on the same map once you've figured out regular farming a little bit, crop farming a little bit, and I think that would do you a little bit better. Tried to follow your eye tracker and sim up video, and I could not get it to work. I don't know what I did wrong. It's really hard for me to know what you did wrong as well. At what point did it not work? Like, did you get the camera hooked up? Were you able to get it downloaded? Was the camera hooked up and everything, but it didn't work in game? Like, what didn't work is, I guess, my question. Sheep and goats are easy first animals. Chickens are the easiest animal in the game. And if you were doing what I said and you ended up farming wheat to begin with, you can actually feed your chickens with that too. The chickens coming from that kind of playthrough are probably actually the easiest. I have over 1,000 hours and have difficulty with cows. Yeah, until you really, really, really understand how cattle work, they are a little bit annoying. But once you understand them, you understand them forever and you're good. Park this in here. I wanted to put him here, but I made kind of a mess. I don't know if I even have the room to maneuver in here. Hold on. Jay, I'll answer your question when you stop spamming, because if you spam a question in chat, you will not be in chat for very long. Are greenhouses good? Yeah, they're just boring. Greenhouses are good money. You just put water in them and they spawn pallets. So it's not a very fun mechanic, but especially, you know, early on, if you're a newer player, it's a nice little way to get some easy money with very little work. And then no matter what happens, even if a tornado hits you, you'll still make money in your greenhouses. So it's a very safe way to make some money too. Would you say I'm a new player when I played 115 hours? 115 hours is like halfway through one playthrough. Probably not. I mean, it depends how you use that 115 hours. Like, if you spent 115 hours farming grain, you may still consider yourself a new player. If you haven't done animals and stuff like that, I would say you're no longer a new player when you understand how to do animals, when you understand how to do productions, and when you understand how to get 100% yield on your crops. That doesn't mean 100% yield on every crops, because, you know, some are a little more complicated. But if you know those things, I would say you're no longer a new player. It's more about what you know than hours, because some people spend 115 hours and they only farmed wheat the whole time, not even at 100% yield. And so they would still kind of be new players, you know? Definitely more about what you know. How often do the catastrophes happen? I've played 200 hours. I've never seen it. It really depends on the map. Some maps have a lot. Some maps have actually 0. So, like, if you're playing modded maps, you're not going to see a lot of them. If you're playing base game maps, you're gonna get more tornadoes. If you have hogs turned on, like those happen every year. Tornadoes every couple of years on base game maps, every 2 to 5. It also depends on how you play too, because like you may accidentally skip through tornadoes and not even realize it. Like I didn't look for tornadoes last month, and then I skipped most of the month. We could have had a tornado last month, but I didn't see it because I skipped the month, you know? I'm gonna leave those 2 there because I like will have those picked up pretty quick, but I will go get the one that's inside here. Hold on. Let me see if we got any tornadoes this year. It's kind of late in the year. I think we're safe, but let's look. No tornadoes in the next 6 months. A lot of snow, but no tornadoes. So we've had 3 on this map so far, and we've been going for 5 years or 6 years maybe. And you skip a month, you sleep at a house. So if you own a house, you have the option to sleep, and that will skip to, if you have multiple days per month, it'll skip to the next day. And then obviously if you're at like 1 day per month, it'll just skip to the next month instead. Right on instead. You got somebody with the sock on thing, JB? Well done. Well done. You gotta record it. I played for 92 hours and I haven't seen 1 tornado. You can play for 1,000 hours, and if you play with a particular playstyle, you'll never see a tornado. Like I said, if you're using modded maps, you're much less likely to see a tornado. And if you are skipping a lot of time, you will never see a tornado. Well, you're less likely to see a tornado. And if you have tornadoes off and you're not aware that you turn them off, you'll never see a tornado. So definitely check that. I checked that first. But the map is that's the biggest factor. The map you are playing on is the biggest factor for how often you see tornadoes. And base game maps are the most dialed in. Some modded maps have them turned off. Like if the mod creator just decides that they don't like tornadoes, they just set that frequency to 0. And that, like, you may never even know that the modded map you're playing on genuinely doesn't even have them. Just reached out on your Discord for help on the eye tracker and sim hub. Hopefully somebody got. Oh, okay, that sounds good. The other thing is I would maybe reach out to the eye tracker directly. Like they're on TikTok. I found out because they commented on I tagged them in it. When I tagged them on it, I found out they were on TikTok. And they did respond, so they must be active. You might be able to either message them or comment on one of their posts. Don't forget about hail. I did forget about hail, actually. That's another one that may or may not happen frequently. Also depends on the map. The weather is dictated by the map. So the amount of thunderstorms you get, the amount of snow. That's another thing. People are like, I never see any snow. Lots of maps don't have snow, or they don't have enough snow for it to stick to the ground. This is one of them. Despite being in Manitoba, and I think it's a little silly, despite being in Manitoba, the snow doesn't really stick to the ground in this map, which I think is stupid. But maybe we're in southern Manitoba. I don't know. Maybe they get a little bit less here. Actually, yeah, this might be in southern Manitoba, which would make sense. I'd take it back. Okay, this is all planted, ready to go. And I think we're good to skip. What did I have to do before I skipped? Chat, there was something important. We filled up on water before, so that's all good. We sold everything we have to sell. I put away all the pallets. What did I have to do? Check the shop. Oh, I was going to skip and then check the shop. Okay, okay. I might skip 2 and then check the shop because we need our poppies to grow and then wilt. To check the shop. Go to 6 a.m. I'm in Ontario. Hello, neighbor. Oh, I'm in Alberta, but in this map, we're in Manitoba. I'm a little bit further away. I haven't played Saxonum. I've heard it's really good, but I haven't played it myself, actually. Ooh, I should test rice fields in a test save before we play with Austin next time. See if those are any good. Oh, there we go. Look at those. This is the best part about doing poppies is the like 1 month where all of your fields look like this. That's so pretty, dude. And it actually, with the tram lines, it looks even cooler. You get these like long ribbons throughout the field. That's so nice. I gotta add helicopters to this game. I go see this from the sky. And then this one should still be green. Yeah, this is still green. Okay. I need to skip one more month. So I'm actually gonna skip one more, and then we will go check the discount yard. And we'll go 7 next month and see if that's any good. I know why you're doing poppies, not slick, man. I gotta make money somehow. It's a dog-eat-dog world out there, dude. How many hours do you have on that save? And did you start from 0? We started from 0, and we have 100 hours on the save. I'll check the used lot as soon as we wake up. An emergency. I'm actually gonna skip it. The oil one is kind of boring. Oh. I shouldn't have skipped it because now it crashed my game. All right, so we get kicked out of the game if we do that. Oh, we back? The game is actually still running, but I can't move. I hope it's saved recently. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. That's not good. Oh, I hope it's saved recently. Yeah, I think it's Alt F4 time. Okay. So don't skip the emergencies. We'll reboot. It's all good. Been doing this all day with you? That's weird. That's the first time since launch. It wasn't really a crash, but like, I don't know what you'd call that. That's been the first time since launch that I've had to reboot the game for a hang-up like that, though. That's so weird. Freeze, yeah, freeze, I guess. But the game wasn't frozen. Like, it was still processing information. You can see the character breathing. That's all right. Hopefully it saved relatively recently. 25 or 22? 25. Is Expeditions a new SnowRunner? No. It's a spin-off. It's a totally different game. It's not a totally different game, but it's a different game. Don't think about them the same way. Love watching your streams when I play Farm Sim. It's a great background. Thanks, Freddy. Appreciate that. Yeah, we play SnowRunner. We still play SnowRunner pretty regularly. Oh, there was an update this morning? I didn't have an update this morning. Oh. Maybe it updated while I wasn't looking. That's technically possible. Farm Sim 26, a mobile game. Yeah, it's, so yes, it's out, but like, this is still the most recent game for PC. I wish there was a better way to explain that. I don't really like the way they do the numbers, but no, you don't need a terribly good PC for Farm Sim 25. It's actually quite, it's quite minimal. Okay, let's just hope this is actually sprayed. That's sprayed. Did they put my pallets back out? I'd be so annoyed if my pallets are still all out in the yard. Oh, no, the pallets are away. Oh, it must have saved after we put those pallets away. It did. Okay, I guess we'll move that pallet back. And I'm just going to turn emergencies off for a little bit, I think. Game settings. We'll make it, like, more rare now. Because now we're starting to get a lot of, like, repeat ones. So we'll do... Oh, this isn't working. What the heck? What's going on with this game today? Huh. The general? Yeah, okay. 4 hours. That sounds better. Then we'll get it like once per stream instead. What's your favorite farm sim? 25 is my favorite farm sim. They really haven't made anything better than 25. It's so good. Expeditions is good. Yep, Expeditions, it's a good game. It's just a very different game, you know? Is the wheel hard to set up? Not for this game. It does depend on the wheel you get. Like, if you get this wheel, I genuinely just plugged it in and it was good to go. Some rare wheels are not automatically set up, which is a little annoying, but that's okay. Oh, you're on Steam Deck. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's gonna change it a little bit. Okay. Oh, I was gonna, whatever. I'm not gonna do it now. Forgot that I did that to get that pallet, but I guess that's fine. Okay, so let's skip that time again. We hadn't done anything. I should be checking discounts. Okay, it gives me an extra opportunity to check that discount at least. Hold on. Let's go 7:30, I think is where we had to go. If I get another emergency, I'll just accept it and do it because now I'm scared of it hanging up instead. He does need a Segway. I agree with that. I need one of those bicycles, those Pokemon bicycles that fit in a backpack, apparently. That's what we need in this game. Start a Hatan save, but I have over 1,000 hours on Farm Sim 22. Hell yeah, dude. Hatan was a great map. Oh! I'm going to skip this. This isn't a drill, so I'm going to skip it, and I'm going to go straight for the Seed Hawk. That's a wicked deal. $67,000 for the Amazon Citron, dude. Dang, if we would have got that like 40 hours ago, that would have been incredible. The Hori truck wheel is good. The farming one, I'm not a big fan of. But I hear the truck wheel is awesome. Yeah, B-Boss. Wouldn't be the best one to get for Farm Sim. Like, if you play a lot of Euro Truck, that wheel's probably amazing. Buying it as a dedicated Farm Sim wheel might be a little weird. No, you're good, Homer. We're all good with the Steam Deck. Just ordered Farm Sim wheel bundles. Got my Steam Deck all set up like a PC. Hey, you can use wheels on the Steam Deck? I was not aware of that. That's crazy. We need this? Everyone's going to say yes because they want to see it, but we don't need it. I'll tell you. No, the answer is no. That's pretty sweet. Case Magnum. Look at that. Little less powerful than what we need, though. I think we're going to skip this phase and we're going to go bigger. Actually, I think our Ford is a little more powerful as well. All right, so this is what the poppies look like when they're not pretty anymore and they're ready for harvest. Okay, so a save game just in case. Let's go look at the discount yard. See if there's anything we can use out here. Might find something cool. Morgan and Dot, thanks for the follows on TikTok. Do I like European trucks? Yes, I do. Some bale forks. Extra storage for the sky stuff. Overseeder. Very little overseeder. Ooh. Oh. Sky spreader. This thing's actually decent. I don't really have a need for it, but this is cool. Do I have a need for this? I don't really spread anything with that. No, I do my fertilizer differently. Oh my god, check that out. That thing's sick. The logging tractor, offset mower. My baby's still here. My 1066. Man, if this is around for any longer, I'm gonna have to buy it. Look at this weeder. Oh. All right. Look at the size of this weeder. I didn't even know those in the game. That's awesome. Oh, it's a lizard one. Oh, this is from the Little Machines pack. That's so sick, dude. You can pull that by hand. Incredible. Look at that little row planter as well. Awesome. I don't really need any of this. So there's a lot of cool stuff in here, but I don't need any of this. Whoa, is that a crystal? What horsepower does this have? 171. That's not very much. That's not going to help us at all. Okay. It is harvest time. Now we have to get a new trailer, and I kind of want to buy one if we can. Because we need... Well, maybe we'll rent it for this year, and we'll see if it's any good, and then we'll decide if it meets our trailer needs or not. Skid steer is probably the most useful thing in there. Yeah, I don't really need one, but that was the most tempting, was buying that skid steer instead. My dad would have said to just buy it in case you need it later. Dude, I'm bad for taking that approach. That's the problem, is I also would buy it in case I need it later. But I can't. I gotta be better than this. Bigger header? I don't think I can fit a bigger... Oh, I did say I was gonna buy a bigger harvester, didn't I? What can we afford? I need to rent a trailer first. That has to happen. Otherwise, I can't do anything. So we're gonna rent a semi-trailer first thing. And then we'll see what we could do with a harvester. So semi-trailers. I might just do a conveyal. That's a rear dump. 43, basically 44 cubic. That's not going to be as convenient. Really not a lot of good options here. That's a good option, but it's smaller. Okay, let's try this conveyal this year. See if that does what we need it to do. Did you add the drive over conveyor? I didn't. I was going to see if I could make it work with this instead. And then if not, I'll maybe add the drive over so I can use the trailers that I actually like doing. Yes, this is a start from zero save. We're quite far into it now, so we're buying big stuff. But yes. Yeah, I don't want to be using that same combine too much longer because it is way too small to get this job done. And also, when do we sell poppies? Like, if this is a good year for selling poppies, we could do it now. Look at that thing. That is sweet. Oh, it always goes straight out? Oh. Interesting. Tuck that back in. If it'll go, now it won't go. Uh-oh, now I've messed up. Oh, I can't pull it back in. Oh, there's a bunch of different settings. That's weird. That's 5 different pipe out settings. I don't know if that's a volume thing or if that's a compartment thing. Maybe you can pipe out each compartment separately. That would be nuts, dude. It's just some weird settings, actually. Okay. All right, let's bring it back in. You don't like that, to be honest? We'll see how convenient that is, because I could see that being really inconvenient to have to switch every single time we need to pipe out. I'm also hoping it could just pipe to ground level, but it might need to fully pipe. It has 6 different bins. Yeah, I don't know if I love that, but we'll give it a try. We'll see if it's any good. Kind of wide so we can get in here. I don't think it has rear steering. This is American equipment after all. Okay. Pull it up alongside here and see how we do. I'm just hoping it can dump straight back without the pipe, because that's actually why I bought it. So we'll see how inconvenient this thing is to actually use. Pull it up right here. Okay. Each compartment unloads separately? Gross. Which means each compartment loads separately, which is also kind of annoying, but we'll give it a shot. And then can I sell poppies now? Because what I could do is I could harvest a small amount that just take them straight to sell. Check a couple of things. We're gonna check wheat first. Wheat's getting up there, but not quite time to sell. And poppies... getting up there, but not time to sell. So we could sell it if we need to, but I'd rather not. Now, this thing, I need to be able to buy a new header, or I could rent a bigger harvester and a header for this, and then use the money that we earn for a bigger one. So what would that sell for? That'll sell for... the header will go for 30K. So 200K plus I have 70,000. So I could buy one for 270K for the header and the harvester. I couldn't even buy that again for 270K. Yikes. I can't buy anything significant. Well, the S7. So the biggest header on the 7160 is the Terraflex 28 footer, 8.5 meters. On the S7, oh, we get up to 15.2. Holy. That only costs 80K more. That's way better. 7160 is actually kind of a weird size, isn't it? Alexion, 13.8. Dude, that S7 is like, that's the move. How can it run such a big header? 15.2 meters. 10 kilometers per hour. The X9. Same access, which is weird because it doesn't do it any faster. It just, why would you even buy an X9? Wait, what? Why would you buy this? Oh, the problem is I'll probably have to upgrade this to the 625 horsepower. So it'll actually cost 420K. Right. I can't sell and buy an upgrade, but I could maybe sell also the AF11. I mean, the 15.2 meter flex draper on there. We're looking at $1 million upgrade. I think the move is to tough it out with this. The smart move, if I was a real farmer, is to tough it out with this and then sell all of our product and upgrade after this season. I can't sell and upgrade, but I can sell and rent. I mean, how much does one of these cost to rent? Oh, it's gonna be so expensive. It's gonna be a $50,000 rental, plus we're gonna be harvesting for so long. It's gonna cost us nearly 100K. We're gonna have 100K less by the end of this harvest to upgrade. It's better to tough it out. Because what'll happen then is all I'll be able to do is upgrade to an S7. S7 is not a bad rig though. Anyways, I would have $100,000 less to upgrade with. And I may not even be able to upgrade. I think we gotta tough it out for one more year with this. I know it's only on its second year with us, but I think we gotta tough it out for one more year to make this worth it, unfortunately. IRL, you try to finance it. Yes, that's true. Well, IRL, I would use a harvester half this size for 80 acres. Like, even this is overkill for the acreage we have. But we use farm sim logic a little bit. We could finance it, but I already have a loan, and I have a rule on this save that I can't take out any more of a loan when I have an active loan. So let's run this. We'll be fine. We'll be fine. This will get the job done. Poppies also are a little less infuriating to harvest because they're not, like, it's not as much tonnage, and you can hold more. Wheat's a little more annoying because you have to stop every 2 minutes to unload, but our tonnage is lower on poppies. Yeah, we're only at 3.3 tons per hectare, and volume is lower too, so it's, I don't think it'll be that bad. If I was doing this much wheat, I might sell and rent, but I think we'll be all right. Be all right. Farm Sim 22 best map. Best map. This one's actually on Farm Sim 22. Farm Sim 22 was mid for maps, honestly. Base game maps were not great. Silver Run from Platinum is one of my favorite maps of all time, and it's a logging map. Man, what was the best shot? What was the best Farm Sim 22 map? It's nothing in the base game or the DLCs. Erlengrot was the best one in base game DLCs. That one was actually solid. If you like doing grass, and it was Farm Sim 22, so of course you do. Erlengrot was great, but that was probably the coolest one on there. Mods, I'm not really sure because I didn't try any. No, we can't do poppy straw. There's no such thing as poppy straw. It just spits out straight mulch. So we don't need to worry about straw either. Should be all right. Ryjager's Garage. Thank you for the follow. Thank you for the follow on Twitch, dude. I appreciate that. Flying Friesland is best map. Trust. The way you said trust makes me think you're trolling. Big Fields was Texas, but I love Weimark. Yeah, Big Flat Texas was a really, really common one for stuff like this. But it was just like, this is all you do all day on Big Flat Texas. It's not, I wouldn't call it a very exciting one. To be honest with you, I'm not a big fan of flat maps. I like certain parts of this map, but even this map is kind of mid. The middle of this map with all the little stuff is cool, and it makes a really good start from scratch playthrough, but 90% of this map is just boring flat fields, and it's not that exciting. It's way more fun when you have hills and all sorts of cool stuff to look at, you know? Best map for silage on Farm Sim 25? Ooh. I'm not a big silage guy, but if you can find an Irish map, I bet that's the way to go, Liam. Poppy oil sells for a crap load of money. Should we do that? Should we do poppy oil? No, because I want to do corn. Is corn oil in the game or no? Like if I buy an oil processing plant, will it pay off? I mean, you could sell it for almost as much as you buy it for, right? Especially if you buy the map one. I'm pretty sure if you buy the map one, you sell it for what you paid too. Oil processing is really expensive though. I don't think I'll have the money to do it. Because what we could do, okay, it'd be kind of insane actually. But what we could do is we could sell the harvester and use it. This actually would work. We could sell the harvester and use the money to buy an oil plant. Then we could feed all of the poppy seeds into the oil plant, recoup that money, and then by the next time harvest comes around, we'll have enough money from selling all the poppy oil to buy a new harvester. This might be a big business move, but also it might be absolutely genius. Let me unload this. Well, this unloads. I'll look at what the oil factory costs. But this might be Warren Buffett level business, dude. Give me 1 second. Are sheep worth it in the long run? Long run is actually probably worse for sheep than the short run. Sheep are worth it in the short run. In the long run, they fall behind other stuff, but I mean, you can up the volume on sheep pretty hard. Like you can end up with thousands of sheep that are really not that hard to maintain because they just take grass, right? So yeah, I mean, they're scalable. They're scalable. Sheep are probably more impactful in the early game, but they do scale. Can you see your lines on to keep it? What? Can you see your lines on to keep it is in Sim Dashboard GPS? I don't know if there's any add-ons for GPS for Sim Dashboard. I have no idea. Cam, thanks for that follow on TikTok, by the way. Yeah, let me look how much the oil factory costs while we unload this real quick. They say go big or go broke. It would be going big. It would be going big. Those are the kind of decisions we'd be making on like fence line feud. Like those are the kind of risks we would take. It feels weird taking a risk like that in this game. Sugar mill, oil mill. 240K? That's it? That's awesome. What's that conversion looking like? And can we do anything with corn? So we just swap over to here. Oil mill, poppy oil, 7 to 1, 12,000 cycles per month. 12,000 cycles per month. That's not balanced. That's insanely poorly balanced, actually, is what that is. Okay, well, whatever. 7 to 1. 7 to 1. So we would be taking, and we'll use peak pricing just to do it right. Poppies. So 100,000 liters of poppies sells for, that's 100 times 3,056. That's $300,000 for 100,000 liters of poppies. If you take 100,000 poppies, you divide it by 7 to get your reduction rate. Then we go to poppy oil. And that rounds down to 14. It's 14,285.7. We round it down to 14 because we can only sell in whole thousands. I feel like I missed it. Not where it should be, right? Oh, the oil. Rice oil. Poppy oil right in front of me. So then we go 14 times 21. 14 times 21,495. You don't make any money on poppy oil. What? Where's my math wrong? You don't make any money on poppy oil? 100,000 divided by 7. It should be 14 times 21,495. 300,000. The other one is 100K. You divide that by 1,000, which would give you 100. And then you multiply that by the sale price. Maybe that part's weird. 3,056. 100 times 3,056. 305,000. You make less money, and rounding down would change it, but you don't make anything on poppy oil. Is the sale price wrong or something? Hold on. Okay, the math does not check out. 21,495. The math doesn't check out at all. Is it selling for the correct price? Is that guy still spamming? I already answered his question. I'll time him out for a little bit, see if he figures it out. Okay. Has anybody tested this? Or what? That is weird, right? Selling it and you lose money on the building, you lose money on upkeep. This is like a lose-lose situation here. Has anybody tested this to see if this actually holds up? Yeah, there's absolutely no reason to make poppy oil. I would expect for this to be balanced. I would expect it to at least give you 10% more. Nadenthal is the map. What was I going to do? Oh, I was going to check and see if poppy oil was an ingredient. That might be where poppy oil is overpowered. Is as an ingredient for other stuff, because its reduction rate... That's reduction rate is horrible as well. Same with lavender. It's kind of bad, dude. Let's run this. Oh, I can't run it. No, let's run the same math with canola oil, for example, to get an idea of how balanced it is. Let's run the same math with canola oil and just make sure we don't have a fundamental issue here. So we're going to look at canola first. So 100,000 liters of canola, and I'm aware that that doesn't compare how much a field is worth, but it just compares the production increase. So we would do 100 times peak price of 21,048. So 100,000 liters of canola seed, you get 214,000. Has a reduction rate of 50%. Exactly. So we take 50,000. We divide it by 1,000. So 50. And then we do 50 times the canola oil peak price. And we're being generous because we're doing peak price here. So that would be 50 times 5,844. You make an extra 50%. Little less than 50%. But you basically make an extra 50% on your canola. So it's actually, no need to run an experiment. The only thing that could be contributing here is if I messed up the math somewhere, which I don't think I did, or it sells for higher than its quoted price, which is possible, right? What about mustard oil? So mustard is another modded crop. I mean, I can respect that they're trying to keep it balanced, but it's actually way underbalanced. So let's just try mustard real quick. I mean, let's take 100,000 liters of mustard. 100,000 liters of mustard. So we do 100 times peak price, 2,679. We get 267,000. It has a 50% reduction rate. Poppy oil is this map only. Same with mustard. So it's probably either, I don't know if it's a mod that they put on the map or if the map creator made it. I'm not sure how that works. Mustard oil. Mustard oil, we take 50 times 6,159. In that case, you're making money because we did... Yeah, so that one is properly balanced. My history on here. Oh, it only shows if I... Okay, that's fine. That was properly balanced. Mustard oil, you do make the proper amount. That's actually a really easy comparison. You can actually compare it quickly. Yeah, so you make... That one's actually balanced exactly the same as canola. In fact, it's almost the same as canola down to the number. It actually might just be canola rebranded. Oh, that's because I was looking at canola. Okay, so you actually make a little bit less on mustard. Not quite as much. You make an extra less than 25% increase on mustard. So it's actually just that those crops aren't very balanced. And it depends on your yield too. Like how much you make per year will depend on your yield. But just comparing the conversion rate, you should never make poppy oil. Forward Farms for 25, poppy oil sells for significantly more per 1,000 liters than raw poppy. However, because the oil mill conversion requires double the volume of input and incurs, it's actually more than double the volume. Both options are highly profitable when sold at the peak seasonal price. Is that some AI synopsis? Because it's wrong. They're the same. You actually lose money making poppy oil. The amount of poppy oil you would need to produce, even just to break even on your costs, is millions of liters of poppies. You'd have to input millions of liters of poppy seed. It is poorly balanced. Yeah, Mike, I think it's ChatGPT. Yeah, so this is once again another ChatGPT being incorrect thing. Unfortunately, that is verifiably incorrect. Now, again, I will definitely say that it's possible the sale price is displayed. I have noticed at times in some maps where it will quote me a price and then I sell it and I actually make way more than it quoted. It is possible that that's not what happens in this game. Like that's not what happens in this map, and that the sale price for poppy oil is actually higher, and that would change everything. But so far, it does not seem like it would be worth it. I burned a couple of poppy fields a couple of times. Homer, I do believe that. I did sell poppy oil, and it was 28K per 1,000 liters, so I don't think the posted sale price is wrong. Okay. Don't make poppy oil, I guess. Don't make poppy oil. Just sell your poppies straight up. So it may be a pretty lucrative crop. I mean, you'd have to compare volume per acreage to understand if it's the best crop for you to farm. That's what the important factor would be in that case. But yeah, poppy oil is not worth making. Mustard oil is worth it. If you're growing mustard, you should make it. But it's actually, you know what it is though? It's poppies that are broken. Because poppies have a weirdly high price per 1,000 liters, as in poppy seeds. So I think if anything was going to change to balance it, and again, it's hard to talk about balance until you can look at the volume, but just looking at the straight up numbers, it suggests that it's actually poppy seed that's overpowered compared to something like mustard or canola. And then rather than selling it, or rather than turning it into oil, you should just sell it and you'll probably end up making more. Now, to verify if that's actually true, we'd have to grow an acre of poppy seeds and an acre of mustard and see where we get higher volume to actually understand which one's more overpowered. But I'm not going to do that. We're not going to do that. You should count how many poppy seeds are in a liter. Count how many poppy seeds are in a liter. Dude, with peas, I mean... It took us like 20 minutes with peas. Could you imagine counting out any significant amount of poppy seeds? What I would do is I would weigh a liter of poppy seeds. First of all, buying a liter of poppy seeds would be very expensive. But I would weigh a liter of poppy seeds, and then I would count out 50 milliliters of poppy seeds, 10 milliliters of poppy seeds. The lower you go, the higher your margin of error. But I would count out very, very little, 10 milliliters of poppy seeds, and then I just multiply it. Because that's insane, dude. I bet it's like 100 poppy seeds per liter. Kimchi. Have you ever seen a poppy seed? They're like microscopic, dude. I bet it's, I mean, in 10 milliliters, 10 milliliters of poppy seeds is more than 100. It's somewhere in the neighborhood of, let's say it was 100. It's gotta be in the neighborhood of like 100K, dude. 100 seeds per 100th of a liter. Is that an actual measurement? Is that an actual amount? That was literally my guess. Was around 100 per 10 milliliters. And then you multiply that by 100. It's 100 times 100. What is that, 10,000 seeds per liter? I feel like it would be more than 10,000 seeds per liter, but 10,000 is actually a really big number. I don't know if anybody knew that. We are going to do some Microsoft Flight Sim. Yeah, we're still going to do some Microsoft Flight Sim. Send AB shopping and let's get counting. No, we're not counting poppy seeds. That's not happening. I also don't have a need for poppy seeds. Buying a bag of frozen peas, it doesn't go to waste. If I buy a bag of poppy seeds, what do you even use them for, dude? There's some really cool... Oh, I can't remember where it's from. It might be a Ukrainian pastry, but it's like a poppy seed loaf. And it's like, it literally has like a liter of poppy seeds in it. It's delicious. It's the greatest texture of anything I've ever had in my life. Just don't eat one before a drug test, because you will actually test positive for opioids if you do. A single pound of culinary poppy seeds typically contains between 900,000 and 1 million individual seeds. By volume, 1 pound equals about 3 to 3.5 cups. That's wrong. That's not correct. It's definitely not 1 million seeds per liter. Well, 1 million seeds per liter? Yeah, Google's wrong. It did the same thing with the peas. It was giving us some insane number of peas per liter. That's what caused us to count peas. I don't have poppy seeds at home. I can't test this. Somebody needs to count out. The more using weight to figure this out is the more accurate way to do it. Somebody needs to count out. Basically, pour a liter of poppy seeds, or you can extrapolate like 500 mils of poppy seeds, weigh it, and then count out 10 milliliters by hand, and then multiply that by whatever you need to get to a liter. That's how I would do it. It's definitely less than 1 million. I don't know why that didn't come through, Powerhouse. Powerhouse, you spelled that weird and it did not like it. I don't like poppy seeds, so I'm out. Okay. Okay. I don't know if anybody has any at home. And tweezers. Yeah, like it would not be quick. I couldn't do it quickly. Like I couldn't figure this out quickly for you. Maybe 500,000 seeds, because peas were about half of what Google said. Peas were actually a quarter of what Google said. It was insanely off. Google gave us answers ranging from 4 to like 6,000. We came in at 1,600. I think it's probably closer to 100 to 300,000. That's a wide guess. But I think it's probably closer. But I'm having trouble picturing a poppy seed, because I mean, the 50% difference in the size of a poppy seed would be almost impossible to notice. But I can't picture a poppy seed within that percentile, you know?
A liter of poppy seeds has roughly 1.5 million seeds.
No.
So yes, if your master plan is to stand there counting them one by one,
I
you've got
might.
a fun few months ahead.
I might
Just
do it.
remember to blink occasionally, drink some water,
Thank
and
you,
maybe
Colin.
question the life choices that led to becoming the world's least efficient statistician.
AI is
On the bright
wrong
side,
about this.
by the time you finish, the rest of us will probably have moved on to flying
It would
cars.
be more like 900K in a gallon. I don't think AI understands what a liter is or something like that. Like AI has some sort of fundamental misunderstanding that's causing it to do this to us when it comes to number of things per liter. Because it's definitely, even intuitively, that's wrong. Might be by using imperial liters. There's no such thing as an imperial liter. The closest thing to an imperial liter is a quart. The only thing it might be doing is getting gallon mixed up with liter. Because I'm pretty certain that's what it did to peas as well. It was very off on peas, and I think it might have been along those lines. AI is American. Well, that's the other problem, too. Ask a Chinese AI instead of these American AIs. The Americans don't know what a liter is, dude. That's what I'm thinking, too. I'm thinking AI is maybe taught, but, like, here's the thing. AI is not calculating this. Like, it's just scouring the internet for this information. It's not calculating this by any real metric. It's just finding the closest thing it can find on the internet and giving us that information, which is something as obscure as this. Is just some idiot in a Reddit post guessing, and it's pulling that and it's giving that to you, because AI doesn't say I don't know. It just gives you the information that it has, and I think that's exactly what's happening here. Something is wrong. I saw it on Facebook, and like, as insane as that might be, if the only information on the internet for how many poppy seeds are in a liter is from a Facebook post, it will pull that and give it to you as fact. Now, some, like Google AI, will give its references for that, so you can check the references and see if that comes up properly, but I just used Google AI, and it said how many poppy seeds are in a US gallon. It said 7.5 million. So then that can't even be possible. It has to be wrong on one of those, because you can't have 1 million seeds for a liter and then 7.5 million seeds for a gallon. One of those is off by 50% if one of them is true. So it can't even keep up with itself. It's not even consistent with its own answers in its own imaginary made-up world. I'm telling you, do not use these LLMs for anything that is important in your life. AI is probably good at organizing and parsing data for you, but even in this, like, I would call this parsing data, and it's still doing a bad job. 1 liter bottle holds approximately 1.8 to 2.3 million poppy seeds, depending on how densely packed they are. That's also wrong. That can't be right. It's less than that. It's less than that. It will argue that there's 4 R's in strawberry. Yeah, I think we're starting at a loss here. If we're trying to give this any sort of credit, we're already starting at a loss, aren't we? You're right. It does do that. I'll just use Sparx. Well, no, I'm telling you. See, at least I'll tell you when I have no certainty. An AI won't tell you when they have no certainty in a fact. I will tell you, like, this is my guess, but it's a guess and I don't know. An AI will be like, it's this much. Found this on a Reddit post in 2010. That's the facts now. It's insane, dude. Just applied to be an editor for Sparx. Weirdly enough, one of the questions on the application was how many peas are in a liter. I'm putting that on there. I'm putting that on there, dude. This actually... Oh. If I was hiring for a company, here's what I would do. I would find some sort of subject matter that is incorrect on ChatGPT, but where if you thought about it intuitively, you get, like the peas thing, for example. Like, ChatGPT was so wrong on the peas that it wasn't even close to the intuitive number. You could filter out, like, candidates who are using AI to answer interview questions, like online interview questions, by baiting questions like that. I would so do that. If I found out an applicant was using AI to answer questions like that and going with an intuitively wrong answer, Oh, that would help you filter out so many crappy candidates, dude. Because if there are people who are disregarding intuitive answers for AI answers, you do not want to be working with those people. You do not want to be hiring those people. Because that's insane. I'm doing this. I'm going chat. I'm quitting streaming. I'm going back to corporate, and I'm employing this to weed out AI applicants. When will I release the head rotation tutorial for Farms to 25? I don't know. It is quite a bit of work, Jack, so I'll figure it out, but it's quite a bit of work. I'm not answering because your question is off topic, so like I will get to it when I can, but I'm going to finish the conversation that the rest of us are having. I won't usually give up on a topic that all 100 of us are talking about to answer one person's question. I'll get to you as soon as I can. That was not a lot of yield. I wish it would tell us how much yield we got last time, because that was less than I thought. This is still going to be like, oh man. I mean, hold on. What did we get? What did we get? Let me just check something real quick. That was actually going to be our lowest yield crop too, now that I think about it. So we got 22,000 liters of poppies out of that one. And that is 1.7 plus 1.5 plus 1.6. So like 5. This is about double. So that would bring us to about 60,000. And this, man, that's huge. So we get 60,000 from these two. And then this, probably about 80K from there. And then in here, should get about 100K. Holy, we're going to make a lot of money this year. It's going to be $1 million year for sure. For sure, $1 million. We'll be able to buy that big harvester. Good thing that we aren't buying that oil plant. I'm glad we did that calculation before we tried to buy that plant. That would have been bad. Sparx is AI, but sexier. That's true. AI only gives the most popular answer from all the answers it finds, including the wrong ones. Yeah. I mean, there's some things that like if there's something with a lot of answers out there, I've seen it do an okay job of finding the correct, credible answer, but not consistently enough for me to be able to use it and not have to fact check it. It's just, here's the thing. Here's what I'm trying to decide, chat. Is it scary? Is it scary that everybody takes these bad AI answers at face value? Or is it awesome if you're somebody who can think logically? And this may be a selfish way to look at it, but if everybody is using AI to poorly complete tasks and you're doing it the right way, is that scary or is that amazing? Because on one hand, I find it a little bit scary that people who may be making important decisions for me are doing this. But on the other hand, it's getting really easy to look like a genius. And I kind of had this experience at work too. Like, I've always been pretty good at finances, and you'd be really surprised at how bad the average person in the corporate workforce is at just basic finances. So being high school level adequate at finances makes you look really smart. I feel like this gap is just getting bigger. If you could just do things intuitively with your brain, and you got all these people out here using AI and then making mistakes, that's kind of awesome. In a, oh, the world is in trouble kind of way, but like, it's kind of great, dude. It's scary when doing construction, right? Or as somebody who, you know, lives in a building, that is kind of scary. As somebody who's like future doctor could be using AI to wrongly answer questions. Here's the scary part. Like, what if students are using AI to study, but then teachers are using AI to grade? you could theoretically have a situation where a student gets a wrong AI answer to a test, but then an AI grades the test and grades the wrong answer as correct, because as far as it knows, that's the correct answer. That thought is terrifying. Actually, that horrifies me. Teachers are using AI to see if students are using AI. That's a good use for AI. So I actually did see, Homer, your thing earlier. As somebody who works in IT, you see the good and the bad. That is a good use. Using AI to detect AI is a great use of AI. That's good. We should be doing that. Using AI to write your dissertation, that's bad. That's no good. But even for organizing data, like if you want to put a bunch of data in and be like, hey, make me a graph that represents this data, and you're putting the data in. Now, I have seen situations where it will actually change data points. You have to be really careful with that. But hopefully we're past that now. That would be another like great use for it. I would agree with the good and the bad for AI. I am not a fan of generative AI art. Even if it looked objectively good, I'm at odds with the premise. AI music sounds terrible. Right now, it sounds terrible, but I also recognize that we've come a long way with AI, and there will be a time where AI music doesn't sound terrible anymore. It's inevitable. I know we'd all like to say that it's not true because it feels good to say it's not true, but like, it will get to that point. But I am at odds with the premise. I don't like the thought of using AI to make music, even though it's possible, even though it could one day be good. So it's, you gotta balance it. You gotta. I think it's okay to accept it for the things that it's good at, but I think we should still push back on the things that we don't like, the things that it's bad at, and the things that we don't like when it does. Peyton, thank you for the follow, by the way. I'm on PC. Yes, correct. Consumer AI equals Gemini. How many poppy seeds are in a liter? True. That's true. That's true. The mic is doubled. Restart your TikTok. You actually have a common bug on TikTok right now, Rustin. If nobody else is having that problem, then we're good. But that's actually a super common TikTok bug. So anyway, you'll play Microsoft Flight Sim tomorrow? I played Microsoft Flight Sim today, dude. I was gonna play in like 30 minutes. We were gonna go do our search and rescue training. Also, so I don't have to harvest all day. You're mixing your AIs together. Honestly, there's an actual difference between consumer AI and enterprise AI. That's true, but I'm just talking about it on a wider scope than that. I'm not saying that they're all the same or that these are the same AI doing these tasks, Homer. I'm just saying on like, what's the word? Just on a fundamental scale. The stupidity of the human race is ridiculous. Whole is ridiculous, and the use of AI is making it worse. See, that's the crazy thing. Like, it could be used to make it better in some cases. Like self-driving cars, I'm all for self-driving cars. Computers are, and this isn't AI, although I'm sure there is AI technology employed. Computers are better at driving cars now than the average person is at driving cars. I like to drive cars. I don't think AI, self-driving cars should be mandated and we're no longer allowed to drive. That seems kind of messed up. However, I look at the amount of people on their phone causing accidents with their lack of driving skill, lack of ability to pay attention, and lack of critical thinking, actually, just to be frank. And I can see that self-driving cars do better than people right now. I'd be all down for that. I'd be down for the mass adoption of self-driving cars. As long as we all still have the ability, like the right to drive our car ourselves, And I think the average person would use it, because the average person, the people who are bad at driving, are going to see it as a convenience. These aren't people who like driving. The second they can have their car drive for them and they can scroll their TikTok while they commute to work, they're going to take it. These are not people like us who like to drive that are going to be adopting this technology. What could I have possibly done here? I think I missed. Hold on. Should be like a manual transmission where you can still have the option. I agree with that. I fully agree with that. I think we would end up with safer roads if, and it has to be done right. Like, obviously this should be heavily controlled and monitored. But I think even now, it's very clear that the technology is at the point where it's better than a human driver. There's definitely somebody driving while watching this. Yeah, that horrifies me a little bit. And the fact that you're right horrifies me. Nish, thank you for the follow on Twitch, by the way. Problem with self-driving cars at the moment is that you are expecting them to account for human behavior in other traffic. They actually do a decent job because they are instantly reactive, right? Humans also don't account for human behavior in other traffic, right? I've seen that argument before, but when we see it in action, AI is, or I gotta stop saying AI. Self-driving cars are instantly reactive, and they're very good at recognizing patterns. And as much as we'd like to think we are perfectly unique and we are not like anybody else, we all follow very similar patterns with all sorts of behaviors, driving included. And self-driving cars do a good job at recognizing that. They can recognize like an accident before you even realize what's happening, because they've tracked the car 3 cars ahead of you already, the one you can't even see. More so if you have multiple cars communicating with each other, which people can't do. They're very good at predicting when there's going to be a crash or a potential hazard. So the data shows opposite, to be honest with you. I'm jealous of seeing so many people playing Farmstead 25 when I'm not able to. That's fair. That's fair. It's a great game. They do. My Cybertruck reacts faster than I can. Yeah, and a lot of self-driving car users now have been saying that their vehicles are reacting things that they haven't seen yet. And you can see this. If you go look up self-driving car crash avoidance, you will see this happening in real life. Not just like lab results and stuff like that. Who cares about the lab results? It's preliminary, like it's the perfect environment. Tesla's obviously going to show the best of their cars. What you can see that's way more credible is actual dash cam footage of cars doing this. And it's freaky to see. And we've been seeing this for years now. This isn't even like, oh, 2026, cars are getting reactive. I saw dash cam footage like this 8 years ago of cars reacting to stuff that you cannot see yet. It's nuts, dude. And the average person, honestly, we would all be better off. As people who like driving, we would be better off if the average driver, who's no good, adopted this kind of technology. But it's very important that we're not mandated to use it. And I think that's where we have to draw the line as, like, you know, good citizens participating in our local government, is making sure that that doesn't happen. Because frankly, and this is the crux of it, it would be safer to put every single person in a self-driving car that they cannot control. Right now, with today's technology, it would be safer to take away everybody's ability to drive. But there are obviously massive concerns with taking away everybody's ability to drive. Nobody's going to give up that. Actually, a lot of people will give up that right for convenience. Maybe also scary. But like maintaining the right to mobility and the ability to drive is very important. But we would be going against the science to do that. And I think we should. I think we should accept that we can take a little bit of danger in order to maintain this right. But there will be people out there who are saying people should not be driving because AI are better. And they're correct. But I think that's one risk we should be allowed to take in order to maintain that right, you know? Waymo is the devil. I had no trouble with Waymo when I was in San Francisco, but there's a lot of conversations about Waymo that need to be had. That's for sure. Nish says, that's 100% valid. I don't trust it 100% yet, but I'm a control freak. It is very good, though, and better than people give it credit for. I have the exact same opinion on that. It's like gun control. It's like gun control. We're not going to start that conversation for obvious reasons, but yes, that is the same argument for gun control. It is objectively more dangerous to let the general public have guns. However, it is much more dangerous on a grander power scale to ban them from having the ability to use them, right? You're correct. As insane of a conversation as that could potentially start, which we're not going to get into, so no continuing that conversation. That actually is a very good comparison. Yeah, we're going to play Microsoft Flight Sim today. You got it. I just hate that it's going to take jobs away from drivers and operators. They're already testing autonomous driving transports on highways and heavy equipment on mine sites. Yeah, that's a conversation that needs to be had as well. You know, obviously the utopian dream is to give all of our jobs to robots so that we can all pursue other things, right? And, you know, we can all absolutely argue that the Industrial Revolution has improved our quality of life, which it has. The Industrial Revolution took away a lot of people's jobs. It made so many jobs obsolete. And those people found jobs again, which is the argument, and it improved their quality of life. But it happened at a sustainable pace. Part of our problem right now with how quickly jobs are going autonomous is the pace is really, really fast compared to how it used to be. Even mid-industrial revolution, it was not as fast as it could potentially go now. And we've artificially slowed it down already, right? So we just have to make sure that people can afford to live so we don't end up in some automation apocalypse where the billionaires control all of the automation, all of the production and stuff like that, and we have no jobs because we've been automated out of our jobs but don't gain any quality of life out of it, you know? And how much time for the technological apocalypse or for Microsoft Flight Sim? 30 minutes potentially for both. I should get the T128 off Thrustmaster's website, shouldn't I? Yeah, I got a discount code for you as well. It's Sparx. What are you having for mac and cheese and a hot dog? For dinner? Mac and cheese and a hot dog? I think Amy and I have some leftover pasta from last night. I did a rosé linguine. It was very good, actually. Martix and Wilda, some name in Arabic that I don't know how to read, and RP, thank you for the follows. Appreciate that. That's... Riley, that's a good point. Riley says self-driving cars are always sober compared to humans. Dude, seeing the stats on how many people are drunk driving on a regular basis is horrifying. It's horrifying. Yes, also another good point. I would actually argue that phones are an even bigger problem than drunk driving at the moment. Like, because people know the dangers of drunk driving, they're aware of it. People are so casual about using their phones while driving. Like, if your friend told you they were driving drunk, you'd be like, you're an idiot, stop doing that, call a cab next time, or I'm calling the cops on you. Hopefully, if you're a good friend, you'll do that. But if your friend is texting and driving, most people aren't going to say anything. And it's as dangerous. It's as dangerous. And most people are not going to say anything about it, which is nuts. We just don't have the culture to push back on it, you know? Jiminy, thanks for the follow on Twitch, by the way. I appreciate that. Welcome in. How big of a discount is your code on the farm steak? It varies. So there's always a flat 5% discount. And then sometimes they give us extra discounts of like 30% later on that will stack with that too. I don't know what it is at the moment. It's like I said, it's always 5%. And then if we get a specific deal, I'll let you know. I drunk drive in the motion rig. It's enough to scare me from ever doing it IRL. I agree with that. Listen, I understand why people do it because as somebody who has played Forza, couple of glasses deep, I'm like, this is fun as hell. But it makes me realize that I cannot do it in real life. Like, it's a little bit of a wake-up call, to be honest with you. Now, I have never even had a drink and driven in the same day, in that order. But yeah, doing it in the rig, even just like playing American Truck Sim, trying to follow the rules of the road, and like having an adult soda, you realize that nobody should be doing that. It's messed up, dude. Nish, do you do, I just noticed you have your partner checkmark. Do you do simulator content on Twitch? Also, Cordell, thank you for the follow. I appreciate that. Bobby, sometimes you just gotta do it. One thing I did realize immediately, I've been playing Microsoft Flight Sim lately. And it's probably maybe a slightly healthier person. One beer, I can't fly a helicopter. Can't do it anymore, actually. So it's probably maybe healthier because I've been addicted to Microsoft Flight Sim. I'll play it till like 2 a.m. I won't have anything because I'm like, I want to play Microsoft Flight Sim, but I can't fly if I've even had one. So it's pretty good, actually. I have a full 6 depth of field motion rig, self-bit, self-coded. And do you stream, Niche? Also, am I saying your name right? And what do you stream? That's cool, dude. I used to drink and drive and then I stopped. My friend got killed and I stopped. I am so sorry that it took that to, you know, wake you up, but addiction works a little bit differently, obviously, than people. If that, I mean, not to say you had an addiction. I guess you absolutely could have just been doing it casually, but I'm sorry that had to happen for you to have that moment, but thank you for sharing that because hopefully other people do not need to have that happen. What time is it in Canada? It is every single time from 2:35 to like 7 p.m. right now. Canada is a very big place. Nish, I'm going to come give you a follow. Come check your stuff out. We love finding new people to check out here on Twitch. I give you a follow, see what you're doing. I do stream ATS Farms 25 out of or Forza Horizon 6. What the heck, are we twins? That's sick, dude. And Microsoft Flight Sim, no way. All right, we'll come check you out. Chat, feel free to go give Nish a follow and 18 plus or no? Potentially 18 plus. I don't know if they're 18 plus. Just keep that in mind if you're going to go check them out, but we'll see if we can find you. What's your stream schedule? The only way I drink and drive now is if I'm on my dirt bike. At least it's just dangerous for you. I mean, you probably shouldn't at least admit to that on the internet. But at least you're just more likely to kill your own self, which is less bad. It's still bad, but with police permission, it was a training military police and on a closed course. That's crazy. That's cool. He's probably a better streamer. I'm going to give you a tip. Everybody on this website is a better streamer than me. I don't show up on time. I just sit here in a field harvesting poppies. I constantly break my own stream rules. I play bad music that most people don't like. And I'm sure there's other reasons as well. And my mic is at least 3 decibels louder than everybody else, which I should probably fix, but I haven't. So, yeah, I agree with you. That follow scared the hell out of me. My whole basement lights up, rigs start dancing, etc. Oh my god. I've done that. I've left like Streamlabs. Left Streamlabs open while I'm editing or doing something else, and then all of a sudden you get that loud ding. My sound of my follow effect is now a lot quieter than it used to be. But dude, that used to get me all the time. So you're saying on balance you're a terrible streamer. I don't know if I have a lot of redeeming qualities other than the fact that I stream when most people are at work. That's it. That's my redeeming quality. Most streamers are at work right now. I'm streaming at least, so there's something to watch. You're from TikTok. Welcome over from TikTok, Cordell. Appreciate that. Junior White, Kale, Andrew, Shane, Barnyard. Thanks for the follows on TikTok too, guys. Welcome. Gift you a farm sim wheel. I will gift you my signature template for a job application, and that will get you multiple farm sim wheels if you use it correctly. They'll be much more valuable to you. Edwin, thank you for the follow on TikTok. I appreciate that. Javi, thanks for the follow as well. Oh, sorry. Ed, thank you for the follow on Twitch. Javi, thank you for the follow on TikTok. But no one else wears a hot dog suit or eats nitro gummy bears. Actually, a lot of people do. The hot dog suit, probably #1 Twitch costume. And those gummy bears, probably top 3 stream challenges, to be honest. Yeah, I don't even have that, to be honest with you. That's, everybody's got those. I saw somebody on the front page of Twitch the other day with the exact same hot dog costume that I had. I got mine on Amazon. They clearly, got theirs from the exact same listing. It is not unique. Maybe the other ones can talk too. Man, I wish I was old enough to have a job and spend my money on how I want it. My first job, I had my first job when I was 11. I worked at a greenhouse in the spring. It made me a few $100 every spring, and because I was 11, that pretty much set me up for the year. That was good. And then when I was 12, I started working for them more and made a little bit more money. We could work on the farm in the summertime too if we wanted to and get paid a little bit, which was nice. And then I got my next job, I think I must have been 14. That was my first job that paid a little bit more, and I worked a lot of hours, like consistently, basically, outside of seasonal stuff. Nobody counts peas on stream. I like that one, Bannon. Nobody else counts peas on stream. I'm your certified pea streamer, chat. Nope. I'm your certified pea counting streamer. Still weird, actually. Certified, I like farming. You know what? Screw the rest of that. I like farming. I I can't tell you anything else. All right, let's go see if this stupid trailer is any good or if this is going to be an absolute nightmare to work with. Do you know today's my 365 stream streak? No, it's not. Did I miss your 365 stream streak? No way. Where is it? Is that true, Wesley? Certified vegetable counter. That's true. I like it. Thank you for the hydrate. I got you. Counter of Le Petit. What? JB, you speak French in my chat? You know how I feel about the French. Pretty much the same as everybody else, but don't let them know that. That's a big streak. That's a crazy streak. We got some professional streakers in here, dude. Yes, it's true, Sparx. He shared it. Oh my God, really? Wesley, thank you for the 365 stream streak. Dude, they got to give us the ability to do sound effects or something for stuff like that. Man, one day. They're getting a little bit better with stream streaks. They're adding some cool stuff, but I need it in the activities feed properly. It's in that one. It's in the events feed now, which is good, but I need it in the mini feed. And then we'll be set. Make it a screaming goat sound for 365 days. Honestly, for how rarely that would happen, although we have a couple every week, so maybe that wouldn't be as rare as I think. Okay, let's get this fixed. So we had to change trailers because the last one we tried to use was a nightmare. Oh, did I not send that roller back? Well, I guess I rented it again. Man, do I even need it again? I don't, do I? I'm gonna send it back now when I'm thinking about it. It's also in the way, so now would be a good time to send it back. Hold on. Return. Okay. And then how do we have this set up? I can see our little spot over there, so let's try that. I do not have a good silage mod. No, I'm kind of actually insanely sick of farming silage, so I don't touch it, but there are a lot of Irish people out there who are keeping the silage game going strong. So I believe that you will be able to find some. This thing is not terribly maneuverable. Almost there. Like this. What are your favorite mods? Hand liftable consumables. I think it's still my favorite. That thing's so sick, dude. Is silage an Irish thing? Not strictly, but yeah, if you play enough farm sim on the internet, and I'm sure you've experienced this as well, Irish kids on TikTok will come and tell you to farm silage. They will not ask. They will demand that you farm silage immediately. They have been farming silage in real life their entire lives, and they only farm silage in their farm sim games, and they make it my problem as well. Hello from France. Hi, Hondo. Welcome in. Thank you for the follow, dude. I think that's good. And then we'll move this out. I'll put it like that so I can kind of back into it. Okay, we gotta be careful not to bump it. Now I'm gonna see if I can back this in properly. What's your opinion on truck sims coming to console? What are pros and cons? What cons? What cons? That sounds amazing. Okay. I know PC players kind of get ahead about owning a PC. Good job for spending $3,000. Well done. Very hard work spending $3,000. But like, games coming to console is a net win for all of us. I'm a PC player. I've been a PC player for 15 years now. PCs are the best, obviously, but they cost $3,000 to $5,000. I cannot think of a single con to a PC game coming to console. I cannot think of a single con. I haven't heard one. It's all just console war kids who want their console to have the most stuff and PC included, and that's it. Oh, this can't dump? Oh my god, look at that. Oh, okay, that moves. Okay, we're good. Let's go down. Yes. That looks so goofy. My memory alone was 4K. A console sounds nice compared to that, right? And how much time do you spend messing around with your PC as well? There's absolute... I mean, there's obvious upsides and downsides just to owning a console. But for PC games coming to console, like, what downsides, you know? The only sad part is that this up here, which should be telling you which bin... Oh, now it's going. Oh, never mind. It might be working now. Is it going automatically? I messed that up. Okay, it kind of changes. Oh, there it goes. It takes a little bit to change, but it does change bins. It's actually not that inconvenient because you just press the pipe button again and it goes. My only problem is I think I missed a bin. I'm pretty sure I'm on bin 6 now. Now this should be bin 1. How did I miss a bin? Oh, there we go. PS5 runs Farming Sim like garbage. Any idea why? Most people don't have any issues with Farm Sim on PS5. What do you mean like garbage? What's running like garbage? Frame rate or graphics or like what's happening? All right, that's awesome. It's my dev PC stream, so it's a lot. Yeah, streaming PCs are a little overkill, but that's all right. Thanks, Frayne. I appreciate that. I hope you can find it interesting, even if you don't play Farm Sim. Farm Sim's just kind of a nice backdrop for chatting with the community. Like, I don't think you actually need to play Farm Sim to watch this stream. I think a lot of people genuinely don't even look at the screen when they watch. I think they just listen and chat when they want to. Farm Sim is just such a nice backdrop for chatting, and I just like to talk. Sometimes I avoid some of the more intensive games because it's so hard to talk to chat while we play them. It's more fun to just more fun to be able to talk. Okay. Why the graphics bad on my Xbox 360? I think you answered that question. I don't play and I watch. That's crazy. Hi, Bubs. How's it going, dude? How's that smoke treating you over there? The cons for me is you use 40 keys to play it on PC. How do you do that on 15 button controller? Troubles me. No, it's really easy. Farm Sim is so good at it too. So basically all you do is you have your main controls on the main button. Stuff you're using all the time. Switching vehicles, in and out, camera controls. And then all you do is you press and hold the left bumper, and now all of these controls are doing something else, except the camera. All of these controls are doing something else. Then you can let go of that one, press the right button. Now again, you have another full set of controls. And then you press them both together, and again, you have another full set of controls. Farming Sim was arguably the ones that solved that problem. It's no longer a problem. A controller has as many buttons as a keyboard if you know what you're doing. If you use alt modes and you use like modifier buttons like that, you have as many buttons as a keyboard. It takes a little bit to learn them, but it takes a bit to learn all the keys on keyboard as well. It's a solved issue. It's a solved issue. That used to be a big problem, but it has since been solved. It's crazy.